Morning, good morning, good morning. It's your boy Big Ghost Rider, man. You know what I'm saying? Guys, today is Wednesday. Of course. You know what I'm saying? What we at? 19? Oh, my bad. It's the 21st. Today is Wednesday. It's the 21st, man. I just want to start off by saying President Trump currently on his way to Europe. You know what I'm saying? I guess you could say this is news, little news. My source, CNN. Guys, I'm in New York right now. It's 3 degrees outside. You know what I'm saying? That's amazing, but we still praising God, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry for the way I'm dressed. Like I said, Wednesday, man. Usually don't do live streams, but I wanted to come live this morning with you guys. So President Trump, he's on his way to Europe. As you guys would know, or if you guys don't know, good morning, Donnie. How are you doing, my brother? If you don't know, Donnie, for the people coming to stream, watch it after it was pre-recorded. President Trump has made some statements about acquiring Greenland, even by military force. When he made those statements about acquiring Greenland by military force, of course, like NATO, Denmark, Norway, you know what I'm saying? The United Kingdom, they all respond how you would expect NATO to respond to an attack or to a potential attack or threat of attack. The thing about it that made this unique is it was coming from a U.S. ally or from a NATO member, a European ally, biggest ally. So what ends up happening is the Danish, they send troops. NATO, Germany, they speaking up, man. France, they send troops. That's their partners. That's their homeland. They send troops to Greenland. And according to Scott Bessent, the President Trump's, I think he's the Treasury Secretary. He came out and he spoke and he said that because of that, they decided to put tariffs on the NATO allies. Think about that. Take a second and think about that. Scott, the Treasury Secretary, if I could speak to him, you got to think about this, man. So here's the situation. America wants Greenland, or should I say President Trump wants Greenland, because only 17% of the people agree with taking it by military force. And I think according to Donnie yesterday, you know what I'm saying, we saw 45% of the people even want to acquire it. So not even the majority of Americans want to acquire it. So I can't say America wants Greenland per se. I could say President Trump and probably his base, they into this. So this is my point. This is my thing. You make a threat. Think about it. If I could talk directly to the Treasury Secretary, directly to the president, you make a threat. You make a threat. You make a threat. A military action against a NATO ally just because you feel like you need the land. When you make a threat, how are they supposed to respond? You already called them weak. Y'all remember J.D. Vance last year? He went over to Europe and he called the European, the allies, he said they were weak. So I'm saying if you calling them weak, they said we're going to stand up and we're going to respond to this. So they make a threat of sending troops. So they send troops. Because of that, you put tariffs on them. What I'm talking about this morning is those tariffs on American allies. If you guys have not liked the video, I ask that y'all double tap the screen, subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Most importantly, Republicans, Independents, and Democrats, y'all jump down in the comments, man. Y'all let y'all voices be heard. I'm going to start off, guys, with a little short summary from Reuters, okay? It's not really a story. It's more of a summary. And I'm going to start off with this because this is how I'm going to start litigating my case. This was reported January the 14th. China on Wednesday reported a record surplus of nearly $1.2 trillion in 2025. Guys, y'all know President Trump, with those tariffs And the justification of those tariffs made a humongous hoopla about America's trade deficit with China. Do y'all remember that? Of course, we remember that. So I'm saying because of that, we pay attention. What happened in 2025? President Trump, he didn't, I couldn't say necessarily declared a trade war on China, but I could say he definitely did go after them. China's one of our biggest geopolitical opponents. So don't get it wrong. Go supported those terrorists on China, not the allies. But because of President Trump's strategy, he want to smother China. You want to push China down. You want to be the leader of the free world with Europe, including Greenland, mainly including China, who was like America's top trading partner. Okay? You want to be the leader of the free world. You want to lead the free world in trade. And so to maintain that leadership, you say, hey, y'all don't mess with China. You got to understand the economies of the world. We'll look at them in a second. But the America is got the top economy in the world. Okay, we all understand that. We agree on that 1,000%. So we all ask, who's number two? You say China. You agree on that 1,000%, undisputed. Per capita, Americans are way richer than the Chinese per capita. But we're talking about the accumulation of wealth within your country and the world. So America's number one, China's number two. Well, Europe as a whole is definitely number three. So the key to this, Ghostwriter is a strategist, okay? I'm not a politician. I don't have to run your campaign like run your business. Y'all do that. I'm a strategist. I'm going to give you the strategy. And let me give you the strategy. The key in this whole situation between America and China, who we say have the top two economies, or who have the top two, you got to make products, you got to sell products, you got to make money, you got to facilitate trade. So you say who number three is Europe. You could get money from South America. You could get money from Africa. Probably not as much, but I'm saying that European market is humongous. So that is very, very, very important. Now, y'all follow me. I'm going with it, okay? So China have a booming exports to non-U.S. markets as producers look to build global scale to fend off sustained pressure from the Trump administration. A push by policymakers for Chinese firms to diversify beyond the world's top consuming market by shifting focus to Southeast Asia, Africa, and Latin America paid dividends, cushioning the economy against the U.S. tariffs and intensifying trade, technology, and geopolitical friction since President Donald Trump returned to the White House. Guys, here's my whole point to this part of the argument. President Trump came out. He pitched a fit about the U.S. deficits. That was his justification for the tariffs, for how he started off. He came out with 100% tariffs on China. Y'all remember that at first? All of that? Yeah. I'll support that. My problem is the 10% tariffs on the whole world. And we're talking about when you first started. We're not talking about today. You threatening Greenland. You threaten to take Greenland by military force. You putting tariffs, further tariffs on U.S. allies. You are completely disrespecting the Canadian people. Guys, y'all got to understand the importance it is. The Democrats do. Because Gavin Newsom is at the World Economic Forum where President Trump is on his way to. We got to wake up to what's really going on. And I wish we could wake up the Trump administration to what's going on. I wish we could. Can you see the effects of these tariffs on U.S. allies? Let's wake up for a second. China is your biggest op. Say you got an opponent. China your op. You got friends behind you. That's how you the richest nation in the world, because of Europe, dodo head. They buying your products. They supporting you. That's how you getting your bread. So your opponent is China. If you start taxing the people behind you or your friends, guess what's going to happen? They're going to go to your opponent. And that's what we finna talk about with Canada, man. I'm saying the rhetoric. Listen, if I'm going to come out and I'm going to say that I want Canada to become a part of the United States, maybe you serious with that. I'm saying I could see why you could say if Canada was a part of the United States that the United States would be a more dominant power in the world, most definitely, economically, militarily, in a million ways. Canada joining the United States would benefit the United States, but that's your friend. Hey, friend, do you want to join me for dinner tonight? Your friends say no, you get an attitude, you start pouting, and you start taxing your friends, and these are grave errors, and I'm going to tell you why. Go start it off. Look, when I think about the tariffs, I think those tariffs are like, what are tariffs, guys? They're taxes, right? We know the American consumer is paying. A lot of the times the American consumer ends up with that bill, but that's a whole nother different conversation. You see what I'm saying? If it wasn't for President Trump tariffs, we could say that inflation would be what? That's a whole different other conversation. Let's stick where we at. We talking about taxing your friends. I'm trying to see how that makes sense. Listen, the 10% tariff on the whole world, I wouldn't have done that. I said it back then. These tariffs right here against Greenland, over Greenland, to me, these tariffs are like almost, it's critical. This is a critical situation. Very critical. And the reason why it's critical, because of Smashley, she said something yesterday and it brought it to my attention. And again, on Reuters, but this story is January the 20th. The Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney is trying to foster a new global trading order. What? The Canadian Prime Minister. So President Trump, you want a new trading order to where you tax your friends and your foes. Like I said, what are tariffs? They taxes. If they're taxes, what's that? It's like a penalty. It's kind of like if the trade embargo, it's kind of like you do that to your ops, to your opponents. When he put them, I was all for the Chinese tariffs, 10,000%. I'm all for the Chinese tariffs. Putting tariffs on American allies, in my opinion, consumers. He's trying to tax the consumers. It makes absolutely no sense. So what happens? One of your biggest trading partners, Canada, we'll look it up in a second. If I'm not mistaken, Canada was America's biggest trading partner. One of your biggest trade partners, guess what he doing? Guess what they said they finna do? They need a new trading order on the whole world. What's that trading order gonna do? By working more closely with who? Your biggest op, China. I'm saying the Canadian Prime Minister, see all that picking on people, you plucking them in the head like, you know how you used to do in the schoolyard with them people, you pluck your little ops in your head. So President Trump, the big bully dude, he walking around plucking, you know what I'm saying, Canada in the head. Y'all need to be a part of the United States. Y'all shut up, you know? And then if you was just sitting there with your mouth in that rhetoric, oh, we gonna build a wall to make, that's a whole different kind of danger. But I'm saying he actually acting on those. I don't want to be disrespectful to him. You see what I'm saying? But whatever those impulses is, he's acting on them with taxes that are real life consequences that's squeezing. The Canadian economy is getting squeezed. I could see if you just saying, oh, we gonna build a wall and make Mexico pay for it, and they're eating the cats and the dogs. I could see if you just saying that, And I mean, you weren't actually doing nothing about it. Behind it, see, that's when the Republicans, Speaker Johnson, when y'all going out and y'all trying to speak for him and all that he's doing and he's saying, when you going out and you doing that, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying this. You can't say that he just piping and just talking and he don't mean nothing because he putting actions behind those words. He's standing on that. First term Trump, they built partial wall. Yeah, we could get on that. That's not what we talking about. What we talking about right now is he's standing on what he's saying. 10,000%. He putting tariffs on these countries. And he crushing, and I'm talking about he's not doing this to China. Because everything, that's why I started. Let me litigate my case, Picasso. I'm painting a picture, baby. I'm a strategist. Everything he start like China, your biggest out. And you saying he trying to get at China. But I'm saying everything he doing is benefiting China. It is benefiting China. China, he complaining about America has $1 trillion trade surplus with China. Guess what? China's trade surplus is over $1 trillion. It's positive $1 trillion. They just shifted trading partners. Now, as Reuters reporting, not only is the Canadian Prime Minister over there, listen, guys, I'm going to get to the end of it. Think about this. I said this yesterday, the day before. That's why when Smashley said this, I had to do this live stream, even though we don't do live streams on Wednesday. I had to do this because this is a critical point. Critical. President Trump, he came in, y'all remember, sending Secretary Rubio down there to Panama. He said he want to push the Chinese and the Russians out of our backyard. That's what he did in Panama. And at the end of this year, Brian C., good morning. Good morning. Thank you for the donation. And Brian C., at the end of this year now, he's saying he want to push Venezuela. Because the Chinese, I heard Secretary Rubio said, because Hamas got training grounds in Venezuela, we got to push them out. We got to push the Chinese and the Russians out of Venezuela. The point is to get them out. Yeah. Monroe Doctrine, y'all remember us going over this. That's why when Smashley said that about that connect. Now, guess what? The Chinese gonna put a flag in Canada. Right there in your own backyard. You hustling backwards, playboy. If you trying to get the Chinese influence, ain't nothing you did wrong, but you start taxing your friends. Why are you going after your own people? Why are you going after Canada? You know they're going to turn on you. And when they turn on you, where they going to go? To your biggest eye. And when they go to your biggest eye, guess what they taking with them? They taking their money with them. They taking their money with them. Brian C. says all NATO leaders will cave to Trump this meeting. Brian C., that mentality, it's dangerous. I'm saying, what if they did cave to Trump? And they just, which is not going to happen. That's why Canada is over there with China right now, Brian C. That's why Canada is over there with China with $1 trillion new trade deal. All that money, they taking their money from America. That's what they doing. They taking their money out of America, bro. That's what they doing. Your market could be strong. Your market could be powerful. But if your people ain't buying your goods, your business is going to start going out of business. You don't understand that. I'm trying to get y'all to see that there's a consequence for that rhetoric. Especially when you backing up that rhetoric with them tariffs, you taxing your friends. That's a mistake. If you want to listen, you could put $1 trillion tariff on Russian products. Who gonna fight you or argue over that? You could put a $2 trillion tariff on Chinese products. That'll hurt people. People will fight you and argue because they got money connected with. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is when you putting a tariff on Canada, and on top of that, y'all, to worst come to worst, you got a new tariff on 8 U.S. allies over Greenland and threaten military action over Greenland. Brian C., you saying that NATO will cave? The NATO, I doubt it very seriously, and I might be wrong, but here's a prediction. I doubt it seriously that they're going to surrender their sovereignty. Where President Trump probably is going to declare a victory is because he's going to be able to build a golden dome. I heard the Denmark Prime Minister already say this. He said you could even get the minerals out the ground. He said, oh, y'all need minerals? Y'all come get the minerals. He said, y'all need oil? Y'all come get whatever you need out of it. You can come get it all. He also said, so you know I'm listening to that Prime Minister. He said it was 150 bases that the United States had there. He said the U.S. had 15,000 troops in Greenland before, and they decided to draw them down. He said, whatever you need from Greenland, you can come have it. But what he said, what we will not do, we will not surrender the sovereignty of Greenland. Now, that's what and that's why they said they send troops there. And he said, God forbid, if America sends troops, there's going to be a military conflict that he acknowledges that he will not win. Now, that's their Prime Minister saying that. That's reckless. That's reckless. Not just the rhetoric. The rhetoric is definitely reckless. What I'm saying is not like saying I'm going to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it, because him saying that made people focus on immigration. And if I get you to focus on immigration, then I'm winning if there's a problem in America with immigration. And obviously it was, so they back his policy, not his enforcement. That's a different conversation. But what I'm saying is this rhetoric on the world stage is completely different, especially when you moving on top of that with the tariffs. And the Canadians, they said they sick of it. They had enough. So you try to run China out of your backyard. In Panama, it was evident that's the point. That's his strategy. In Venezuela, that's his strategy. He talked about Cuba and some other nations who are affiliated with China and Russia. He want to run their influence out of the Western Hemisphere. Well, guess what? In the meantime, in between time, our biggest neighbor, biggest friendly border shared with Canada, our biggest neighbor, our allies, our friends that you've been picking on and you've been taxing and you hurting the Canadian people. These are human beings. It's real life consequences. Why you thinking about money? Yeah, America needs money. Yeah, we want America to be rich, but you don't poo-poo on your friends. That's how you gonna take money, not make money. And now Mark Carney, the Canadian Prime Minister, he said he's had enough of your bullying. He's had enough, Donnie. That's what he said, my brother. He said he had enough. And he said, because of that, we going to your biggest eye. You don't want the Chinese influence? Well, welcome the Chinese influence to Canada. Last week, Carney took his trade diversification push further than his allies in Europe. What? Listen, Mark Carney's so tired of you, President Trump. Not only did he go sign that $1 trillion deal with China, gutting money from American businesses, not only did he sign that $1 trillion deal with China, he going around advocating my boy Mark Carney, he trying to get at your throat, President Trump. He going around telling all the allies that, hey, y'all need to come over here and do business with China. Go leave America alone. Let them feel some stuff. And you know what? You think President Trump, well, how President Trump doing about that? He helping him. He helping him. I'm going to put a tariff on the whole world because we need green. I'm going to put a tariff on my friends because he won't sell me his lawnmower. My friend, I could see you, President Trump, when you was a younger guy. I could just see how you act. I know your time, your kind. I could just tell. And President Trump, if you wanted to buy your friend's bicycle and he wouldn't let you buy his bike, you finna try to tear him down. Your friend. It's your friend. That's what an ally is. And not only are they just your friends in the form of military, or they're your friend in form of trade, it's a reason why America is the leader of NATO. That's the free world. He ain't getting it. He don't get it. When you say America is the leader of the free world, let's not say that no more, y'all. Just for a second to help President Trump out, say America is the leader of NATO. Say it for me one more time again. America is the leader of NATO. You can laugh all you want to. NATO has, let's look up how much would the percentage of the wealth in the world that NATO has. I guarantee you that those little 40 countries own the majority. Y'all don't get it. Them white people, if you put Israel, you might as well put Israel in there with them. That's all the white people. You ain't seeing it. You missing something. What we missing? What we missing? Europe is the white people. This is a white man's world, and I ain't trying to be racist. It has always been, and it's always gonna be. Y'all just need that common sense to mix in with that intelligence. Some of y'all get kicked off on your intelligence, and you get kicked off too far, and you leave the common sense behind. You got to bring the common sense with that intelligence. See, Albert Einstein, my boy was so smart, but that common sense is just as important as that regular intelligence. It's the way I look at things. I guarantee you, and I hadn't looked this up, but I put money on it. Over 60% of the world's wealth is in NATO, them 40 nations. That's all the money in the world. Probably more than that. Probably up to 70% of the world's wealth is in NATO. So when you saying no one, you ain't never heard that nowhere else. So I'm consuming content. And that brain is producing it with that analysis. So when you saying you the leader of the free world, do you understand that the free world is NATO? So if you no longer the leader of the free world, you no longer the leader of NATO, you no longer the leader of the free world. Just give it some time. That's the repercussions of those actions. If you are no longer the leader of NATO, you won't be the leader. Who's gonna follow you? They going to China. Canada is a NATO. They going to China, and he ain't just going to China. He's trying to bring. President Trump has done more to help the Chinese and BRICS and their imperialism than anybody. He's doing more to help them than Joe Biden could have ever done, dreamed of. You got to understand, and what y'all don't understand because y'all get too cocky, and God said you need to humble yourself. There is consequences for every action. For every action, there is a equal and opposite reaction. The butterfly effect for every single action. Every single word. God is clocking it. The Bible says he will bring into judgment. We say every, he mean every. Every action and every word is being judged. So when you have somebody who speaks so recklessly, a lot of times there's no consequence to pay. A lot of times in that first administration, there wasn't too many consequences to pay. But you start paying consequences when you put in tariffs or you taxing your friends. That's when the consequences come. President Trump, if you want to just say all that wild stuff, I don't know about threatening military action. That's too far. But you want to say all that wild stuff, don't back it up with tariffs. Last week, Carney took his trade diversification push further than his allies in Europe by signing a deal with China, and aims to protect Canada as a potential leader in a new global trading order. After U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs upended long-standing relationships. President Trump, you can't blame this on nobody. And you're going to be long gone when the effects are feeling. Let me tell you something what's going on. I seen Governor Gavin Newsom, shout out to Big OG, over there at the Global Economic Forum before President Trump even got there or getting there. What's the governor of California doing? He got business over there. A lot of business leaders. There might be other governors, but I guarantee you, he talking to them world leaders. And guess what Governor Newsom telling the world leaders? Guess what Governor Newsom telling the world leaders? Y'all put it down in the chat. You already know what he's telling them. More than half of America is not with a lot of this stuff President Trump's doing. What's a poll on the tariffs? I don't have to look at no polls. Ghost is the voice. Independents, 45% of the electorate. Ghost is the voice. So when I'm telling you this, I know I got 80% of the independents and 100% of the Democrats. That's the majority of the people agreeing with what I'm telling you right now. The Supreme Court keep pushing back that decision they gonna make on tariffs, but when I'm telling you, President Trump, they gonna end up taking that power from you, and they gonna make them tariffs illegal for you to declare, because you should have just stuck with them tariffs on China like Ghost was telling you. Gotta listen. You should have just stuck with those tariffs. Listen, if you don't listen to me, and I'm telling you this all the time, I'm a strategist. Y'all go back and listen to the live streams. If you don't listen to Ghost and what Ghost is telling you, you gonna make a mess. I ain't never ran one election in my life. What's that got to do with strategy? Huh? I'm not gonna run your election. If Jasmine called me and hired me tomorrow, I wouldn't run her election. I'm not gonna run no business part of what you doing. All I'm giving you is strategy, and y'all go run the business. It's the brain. What, think tank? Can you comprehend that? I'm not trying to run no campaign like I'm David Plouffe or some great campaign. I'm not trying to do that. All I'm going to do is tell you with a set of circumstances and predictions based off of history and the wisdom that God gave me. If you do A, B, and C, it's going to equal to D. You listen to it or not, and you going to be on your face. And now you got America's biggest trading partner over there in China. The Chinese they pimping you like you are like just like Putin pimping you, President Trump. You can't be like that. America's not like China or Russia. The American people don't respond to that like the Chinese and the Russians do. So you gonna end up getting cheated. He gonna come plant a flag. He gonna plant that American flag, that Chinese flag in Toronto soon. He's talking about Chinese influence. You're going to be looking at Chinese influence right across the border in Detroit, right across that whatever that is that's separating Detroit and Toronto. You know, y'all follow Legal Wars Live. You know, I just went to Detroit and we were filming across the water. We see the Canadian flag right there. We in Detroit. Oh, there go the Canadian flag right there. You're going to see a Chinese business where you see that. Hey, y'all know where you see you look across the river in Detroit, you see Canada, you're going to see a Chinese business right there. He talking about getting out Chinese influence out of in Canada. Not only is Mark Carney, he didn't piss Mark Carney off so much. Not only did Mark Carney go sign, that's offensive enough. Your biggest trading partner, he's saying diversifying. You know what that means. He's saying he cutting America off. He going to stop doing business with America. Only what they need. Outside of what they need, he ain't trying to do no business with America. We talking about Canada now. We not talking about Russia. We not talking about Brazil. We not talking about Venezuela. We talking about Canada. It's unbelievable. And he over there shaking hands. What you think he gonna do? He's shaking hands with the Chinese, with Xi. Xi over there playing. Xi on that chessboard, smiling at you. Xi pimping you, President Trump. He gonna outmaneuver you. President Trump, you trying to do it with strength, with muscle, like a bully dictator. And Xi over there doing it with diplomacy, real diplomacy. Xi over there with real diplomacy. He's saying, look at the Americans. They the bullies now. And the Chinese care about human rights and democracy. Y'all think about that. Under President Trump, the Chinese got an argument for human rights and democracy. That is unbelievable. Under President Trump, that would never happen under Obama or Joe Biden. And that's just facts. It's the way you moving, President Trump. So not only Did Canada go sign a trade deal, Smashley, baby, when you show up? But he over there advocating for all the allies in Europe to come over here with him with China. Yeah. I was one of the biggest supporters of President Trump's tariff policy against China. In March of 2025, I began speaking on how taxing a U.S. ally is like hustling backwards. America is the leader of the free world. The free world. The free world. If you start taxing your friends with that rhetoric and threaten to take their land, President Trump, that's doing the very thing that America fears. You are sending our allies to China, and which in effect is going to lead to China taking the U.S.'s role on the world stage as the leader. That's why we see Governor Newsom over there. That's why we see Governor Newsom over there right now talking to him. He's saying, hey, man, hey, y'all, I'm sorry. We sorry. For America, man, we sorry. We don't mean this. Titan Blue, that's what Governor Newsom over there is saying right now. Hey, y'all, we sorry. Y'all just think about how Canadians loved Americans and how the Canadian Prime Minister is now leading the charge against the United States economically and telling people to line up with China, and start trading with them. And not only is he telling them to, he doing what you doing, President Trump. He inked it. That $1 trillion deal. Y'all think about if your biggest trading partner, see, that's why you take that common sense. That common sense. Well, I insert common sense in some spots where intelligence is needed. If your biggest trading partner signs a $1 trillion deal with your biggest op, your biggest trading partner, he with your biggest op now, so it ain't going to be your biggest trading partner no more. Probably not. And you keep taxing your partners, guess what they going to go do? What the Prime Minister of Canada told them to do? Come join us and get on with the biggest op. Who going to be the leader then? China going to take the spot without one shot being fired. Because President Trump, you don't get it. You lose Europe. America lose Europe. It's a wrap. What you the leader of? You the leader of the South American free world? You ain't going to be the richest nation on earth if you depending on South America to buy your products. You got to understand it's a world market. Everything is connected. This ain't with the Monroe Doctrine, the Monroe Doctrine. That's like the 1800s, bro. This world, you can't separate the world. Like Venezuela and Australia have a relation. If they can make that's the craziest thing in the world. But hey, what you gonna do about China being in Toronto now? And brother, the bad thing about it is that when I just think about, I'll talk to people who are from Canada. I can remember the incident. I remember being in Ocean Springs, Mississippi at Gulf Island National Seashore Park. And I met some people, a family from Canada. I remember being in Biloxi, Mississippi, met family from Canada, and they talked about how much they loved America. And to see the Canadian Prime Minister leading the charge against the United States, telling people to line up with China and start trading with them instead. If you have followed suit, all we could do is pray that the next administration, that's why Gavin Newsom is over there right now talking to the Europeans, can win them back. Because if not, I predict on this path, within 10 years, China's economy could possibly pass up and surpass the United States. If you guys have not liked the video, I ask that y'all like the video, double tap the screen, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. I'm in here rocking with you guys on a Wednesday, guys. Y'all know I really don't be streaming on Wednesdays. We never go live on Wednesdays. But I decided to come up in here this morning, and I'm going to spend the time with you this morning. But it's a special, though. So, I didn't put too much thought in it, but it's just to carry on to what we were talking about before. Tomorrow we're going to switch it, and we're going to talk about Mandami. So that's going to lead it back to affordability. You see what I'm saying? And it's going to lead it back to politics within, the United States. And of course, on Saturday, if you guys don't know, it's Jasmine for Texas. It's episode number 5 of Jasmine with Texas. So make sure you guys tap in with us on that. But I just wanted to come on here today, and I just want to tell you guys, as Americans, we should not be ignorant. And as Americans, we should be aware of what President Trump's rhetoric and those tariffs are doing to America. We should be aware of that. And that's why I wanted to come on. I just tell you, if I didn't lay out the case enough, y'all get down in the comments. Y'all let y'all voice be heard. I will debate and argue and discuss with anybody. Just ask that you be respectful. We're not idiots. We don't have to call each other idiots. We don't have to get in our feelings. We can control our emotions like adults and have a grown-up conversation. Okay? Titan Brew, is that you? No, that's Lisa Roy. Good morning, baby. She says, have a good day and thank you for posting. No problem. Let's see. Lisa says, I believe in tariffs. Lisa, this the thing, baby. This is what it got me got me on the fence about this, because I believe in tariffs too, Lisa. And I said that before. And I said, especially the tariffs against China. I just don't believe in taxing your friends. It makes no sense to me. Outside the love of money, taxing your friend don't make sense to me. Lisa, listen. We talked about soft power when President Trump came out with DOHA, and they were so concerned with saving American money. But I could tell you about 50 ways that President Trump as many times as America, we talked about this yesterday, as many times as he's gotten the United States sued. There's so many things I could see how America is continuing to waste money like it always has. President Trump, what has he changed? But I'm saying when he first came out with DOHA and everything like that, and he was talking about budgets and deficits. And so I understood that America had a $38 trillion deficit, and that's how you get money. You got to accumulate money with taxes. I understand what he's trying to do. You're trying to pull up out of a hole. I get that. But I'm saying, Lisa Roy, how can we explain? How can we make sense of you saying, okay, I want to take Greenland by military force. I want Greenland. And if I have to, I'll take it by military force. Okay? Even saying those words is reckless. But say you say those words, that's what I'm saying. They're eating the cats and the dogs, the rhetoric. But I'm saying you back it up with tariffs. To me, those tariffs are almost illegal. He almost should not be allowed to put those tariffs on. In my opinion, that's almost where I feel about it. Because I'm saying you're going to put tariffs on them. To me, there is no... Look, Senator Bacon said what he said about taking Greenland, especially with military force, is utter buffoonery. You putting tariffs on your friends because you mad because they sent troops to protect their country or their land is utter buffoonery. And I'm saying the Supreme Court, President Trump, right before the Supreme Court's opinion, I don't know if the lawyers could do any late arguments or amend any of those documents, because that Greenland and putting tariffs on them would be my argument that they need to take that power from you, because that's reckless and that's hurting all of us, every last one of us, small business owners, people who traders, the truck drivers, the people buy gas. It's hurting all of us. It's interconnected. This is not the 1800s, the early 1900s, no Monroe Doctrine or no Dumrow Doctrine. That's buffoonery. In an interconnected world, the world is completely different when you're trying to separate hemispheres. I told you that before. That's buffoonery. What the stock market looking like, y'all? Somebody tell me. I'll wait. What is it, 3 degrees outside? I got time. What that stock market looking like? Somebody tell me. President Trump, Scott B, what that stock market looking like? Yeah, you want to put tariffs on your friends. Oh, look, when you came out, and that's why I said, y'all listen to me, that Doge, when he first came out, and he very first time said that we got a $38 trillion. Do y'all remember that? We need to stop spending money. He was firing all those government employees. Well, okay, I get it. Maybe that's not the way I'll do it, but I get it. You got what, a $38 trillion, you try $1 trillion trade deficit with China. You trying to fix all this stuff. I get it. I understand. Okay. But I question putting tariffs on the entire world at one time. Your friends, your allies, you gonna put tariffs on Israel? You putting tariffs on France and Australia, and then start picking on Canada. Like, I mean, it's a progression. He came in with the Doge, he kind of laid it down a little bit. We understood that a little bit. And then he get out there on Canada. Look, not only did he say Canada should be a part of the United States, like he was degrading them constantly. Like how he degraded VP Harris. But what I'm saying, this is a different situation, bro. That's costing America. How many of y'all got businesses where y'all do business with China? I know they do in Kentucky with that liquor and that bourbon. I'm telling you, I know they felt the effects. With Canada, I said with China, I'm sorry, with Canada. I know they felt the effects. And I'm saying that's why Canada over there with China now. And they trying to pull Europe, they trying to pull NATO with them. We all feeling the effects of this, man. And I'm saying it's not good at all, y'all. The tariffs has made it a huge difference, Lisa, but like I said, this person right here, we're gonna just get you out of here. Let's see who that is. Oh, Reagan, what's up? I ain't seen you in so long. He said, you can handle 3 more years of Trump like I did Biden the way. Yeah, we can, but listen, we just need to do it a different way, man. That's all I'm saying, Reagan. Regan, that's all I'm saying. The path and the way that we are running and doing this playbook is not right. It's not the right path. And it's affecting and hurting all of us. Every last one of us. That's what Go's saying. That's my point. That's my only point. That's my only argument. The path that we are on right now and the way that he's running his playbook is completely wrong. And it's hurting us. Period. Oh, it ain't England for national security. I'm going to go take over England by force. You threatening them. He sound like the Ayatollah, like the Iranian leader. Oh, we going to go take over the world. Pinky in the brain, pinky in the brain. You feel me? And so you gonna go send and then you get mad because they send troops like they trying to protect their land, and then the tariffs. I'm saying, think about the tariffs before, the previous tariffs. Think about those. These tariffs right here, it's like President Trump going into 2026, a lot of this stuff you do like that you did last year, you're gonna have to progress forward and you're gonna have to grow past some of these points that you was in 2025. And I hope that that's said in the most, I could say, docile way that could be understood, that's love, man. You're gonna have to progress past some of these points. Maybe we'll get lucky and the court will take that from you and he can't do that no more. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying it's the damage done. Because China trying to tell everybody, Canada trying to tell everybody come do business with China. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we did make partners with Venezuela, and that's great. That's good for Americans. In some way, form, or fashion, over a period of time, that's going to be good for America. Y'all excuse me real quick. I'm going to switch this setup real quick so I can plug my phone in. You know what I'm talking about? That's going to be good for America, what he did in Venezuela. The oil companies is probably going to make oil prices come down eventually. But this ain't got nothing to do with Venezuela. What's so weird since you bring up Venezuela, to me, he acted like a mature adult when he was handling Maduro. He acted kind of like a mature adult when he was handling Maduro. Like Maduro was acting like the idiot. And President Trump kind of was really just chilling. He wasn't tripping too hard. You know what I'm saying? And then when it was time to snatch him, he just snatched him. He in court like that. That didn't go too bad. But I'm saying what you got going on over here with Greenland and the military force and the tariffs, the continued tariffs, they are sick. They're not gonna. Europe is not gonna put up with your bullying, President Trump. They're gonna go to Xi, cause Xi's smoother than you. He not gonna bully them. Those tactics work to a certain point, certain extent, but you're going to have to grow past that in year number 2. This year number 2, this 2026, that military force taking Greenland, they eating cats and dogs. We got to grow past that. That persona that you display when you was handling Greenland, the people who are handling you. See, that's what I'm saying if you got ghosts around you. That intelligence works on many different ways. It's going to improve everything you're doing. Because I'm not going to be running no campaign. I'm not trying to be the campaign director. Oh, that's what you thought. Oh, that's what the dude thought. I was trying, nah, Ghost is the brain. He the strategist. I'm going to be behind the scenes, bro. I'm going to be in the computer. Like, your Ghost going to be far. You ain't even going to see where Ghost is. But Ghost gonna watch them operations that you doing, and he gonna make suggestions. You know, a consultant. You don't understand that? I don't have to have ran no campaign before to be. Look, if I'm a genius and I'm smarter than this dude you doing an interview with, this little knuckle numbnuts dude, who nobody knows and have no relevance. He just got, I don't care if he get more viewers than Ghostwriter. He could get 200,000, 300. He could get as many views as Candace. He ain't no Joe Rogan or something. No, ain't nobody know this dude. So you sitting up here and you telling this dude, and he talking about like ain't never ran a campaign. I don't have to run a campaign to be smarter than him. I don't have to run a campaign to be smarter than him. I don't have to run a campaign to know you need 13,000 volunteers, which Tellerico got him. I don't have to run a campaign to do that. That's bright. That's in your mind. You don't understand. This is it's different, man. It's strategy. You gotta understand that. That's why I told y'all Karl Rove. Karl Rove actually ran the campaign, but I'm saying eventually I'm gonna run a campaign or work with the campaign or get experience working campaign. Cause look, you could say that you did 8 campaigns in your life. How many of them were statewide? If you ain't never did a statewide campaign, you ain't never did no campaign if you doing a statewide race. If you ain't never did ran for president, you ain't never did a nationwide campaign. I don't care how many regular campaigns. There's similarities in them, but it's not the same. It's plenty of people who ran for local office and never held state office. That's a higher level. See what I'm saying? I'm saying it's about the strategy. Ghost gonna give you strategy. A campaign is a business. What President Trump running America, it's a business. I'm not trying to be president. If I was trying to run, why would I try to run a campaign? I'm gonna run for office if I'm gonna try to be your campaign director. I'm gonna just be the candidate and everything. I got the words, I got the knowledge, I got the moves. That's not what I'm trying to do. Just the strategy. I'm going to be in your campaign director's ear whispering to him or her. Unless you want me communicating directly with you, I'm going to see how the volunteers moving and how y'all organizing, and I'm going to make suggestions that you do it like it's the brains. Hey, hands on, you can run whatever campaign you want to. You want to put that boy on the payroll so he could be that's your brains. Does he think for you? It's just advice. You don't have to listen to it. But what I'm saying is everything I said about President Trump and what he need to do, I've been right. So he need to, because that's affecting all of us. Him not listening to that advice if it's right. I mean, to me, it's like you do not put no tariffs on Canada, on Mexico, or on any European nations that's doing business with America. Those tariffs are a way for him to further be a bully. That's what it is. Because he back it up with his rhetoric. But he don't understand, like, him picking and squeezing on Canada like that, bro. That's not helping none of us. It's not helping America. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to see how it's helping America. Somebody saying calling an economic depression is his plan. I don't know. Economic depression in America, I don't know how close we are to that, man. Maybe you know something I don't know. You know, I know there's a lot of things with the American economy that definitely needs to be fixed. But, you know, at one point I thought it's possibly that we could, you know what I'm saying, possibly see a recession, but he might have slipped past it, or he might have dodged it. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. Those job numbers, they down and up and down, but they're probably about regular for a regular president. Joe Biden just, you know, he was real good on the job with that part of the economy with the jobs, you know. So it's record job creation for Joe Biden. Okay, somebody said this. I really don't like commenting on this, but I just want to, I'll read this. The doctors monitoring his stroke. Health need to step up about the stroke that happened in the fall. Some of this result of extra madness as well as a diversion. So you saying his health, him having a stroke, that's a diversion? Like maybe his health, 79 years old, he is kind of hyper and active, you know, kind of gangster for a 79-year-old, but I don't know, maybe that's affecting his health. I don't know. But thank you for your comment, though. Let's see. Who is that? It's Mark Easter. Good morning. Good morning. It's just being fair. They put tariffs out to slow down imports and increase that country's sales in its own commodity. I agree with that. Let's see. Ghost Rider could be the best candidate for the Democrats for sure, because not one other has 1% smarts Ghost Rider for real. Look, Regina, baby, this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you this. I seen on Stephen A. Smith, he did a show. I mean, there was Senator Hawley from Missouri. You know Senator Hawley, I got mad respect for him. He a young Republican. He's sharp, man. Senator Hawley from Missouri was asking a doctor that the Democrats had sent up there if a man could have a baby. That's what she was asking her, yes or no. And she couldn't answer that question. And what Stephen A. Smith's analysis was the Democrats got to get out of those situations. And I agree with that. That's kind of like what I was saying yesterday. Those are situations that kill the Democrats. That's what President Trump did to him last time with the transgenders. I told y'all that how when Ted Cruz, when he debated against Colin Allred, like Colin Allred was beating Ted Cruz up. He was talking about how Ted Cruz was hiding in the closet during January the 6th. Ted Cruz was hiding in the broom closet. Ted Cruz hiding behind the broom on January 6th. I'll put that on everything I love. Go back and listen to that debate, the second debate, Colin Allred against Ted Cruz. That's what he said, January 6th, Ted Cruz. He was trying to say Ted Cruz wasn't really that much of a man. He hiding in the broom closet. And Colin Allred said he was out there like he big swole. Like, come on. Rioters, come on. He said it was me and like 2 other riot police or 3 other riot police, and we were just holding the line. And he was making it seem like he was a hero and Ted Cruz hiding in the closet. That's what he said. He said you want the man hiding in the closet to represent you. But you know what? Ted Cruz flipped it. And this is as an innocent observer. Ted Cruz started talking about how Colin Allred supported transgenders and boys playing sports with little girls. See, Colin Allred was making Ted Cruz look like, you see what I'm saying? He was making Ted Cruz look like he was kind of weak. But what Ted Cruz said about Colin Allred, he made you look like a weirdo. You support little boys playing. See, that's what Stephen A. Smith's saying, asking that doctor, if a man can have a child, Democrats don't get put in those situations, please. Just be truthful and answer. Can a man have a child? Say no. A man can't have a child, but a transgender, like, we don't know, like, you can come up with something, but don't let them sit there and make you look stupid. Can a man have a child? No, man can't have no child. But you know, there's transgenders in certain situations with hormones and genetics, and it's 2026. Who knows what can happen? That's how I answer that. Get on down. Josh Hawley that asked a woman 10 times, can a man have a child? She can't answer the question. I ought to play that for y'all. He asked her 10 times, can a man have a child? She can't. And that's what I'm saying. The Democrats, that's those kind of issues. That's how they'll get you with that. You got to be cautious with that. Don't let them put you in those kind of traps. I don't think it's as bad for a woman. You know what I'm saying? But Jasmine, she having her debate on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, whenever the 24th is, and they're going to ask them some questions, you know what I'm saying? A lot of different kind of questions like that. Let's see. Regina says, I believe that and keep telling you to campaign because you will be the only Democrat that gets my vote. I appreciate that, Reagan. You know what I'm saying? You need to tell Jasmine that. Hey, Reagan, you need to tell Jasmine that. Because, see, if I work for a lot of, that's what they're going to be saying about her. Everybody going to say that about her. She going to be the only Democrat that'll get their vote. You feel that? So you got to tell her that. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I never run for no political office or no. I wouldn't do it. That's not who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm like thinking. Kennedy from Louisiana is a boss. I'm not sure. I know. Isn't it Senator Kennedy? I think I know Senator Kennedy, but I can't say, you know, I agree with everything he believe and feel. But yeah, he cool, I guess. Ball Street says that transgenders can't have a child. Like I guess they can. I don't know, bro. It's 2026. They got all kind of weird stuff going on. I don't know what's going on. All I'm knowing is when they ask you a question like that, don't try to pander, because it make you look weird. If it was me personally, I'm not finna make no vote. That's just like, I know to me, it's not just about, you can't say that America is a majority Christian country and America is gonna support that transgender or gay. No, they never will. Not as long as it's majority Christian. It's just what it is. But I'm saying, even if you supporting that kind of stuff, don't let them trap you. Can a man have a child? If you can't answer that and say no, like plain and clear, it makes you look like a weirdo. He gonna start saying that you see Michael Jackson moonwalk backwards across the moon wearing pink flip-flops. He gonna say you can't answer it. Have you ever seen Michael Jackson walk backwards, moonwalking on the moon wearing pink flip-flops? No. Can a man have a child? No. It's simple, bruh. It's real easy. But I'm saying, when you can't answer that straight up, then it's going to make you look weird. It makes you really, from a point, Stephen A. Smith is an independent. This is his analysis. And I concur fully. I kind of was saying something like that yesterday. Because I've never gotten down with the Democrats and how they feel about gays and transgenders and all that. I've never gotten down with them on that. And the majority of America don't. With me, it's because I'm a Christian. With me. But if you take Poland, on any kind of Poland, like, it makes sense to me. But look, if you a Democrat and you support that, you just got to know how to get out them situations. Like that state trooper I was talking to yesterday. So you just got to move from the situation. You can't let them pin you on no questions like that. See, here come Ghost. Ghost not... You're not hiring Ghost on your debate preparation team. If it's that big of a deal to you, that debate gonna be watched by a whole lot of people outside of the state of Texas. You're not hiring Ghosts on your debate preparation team, but Ghosts is gonna be watching y'all when y'all doing what y'all doing. Just like the same way y'all hear me and what I say and how the kind of sense it made. The same way I just consume the information and I'll spit back out what I see. That brain, it's that brain. I'm trying to tell you. And the same thing, if I weren't, like, I'd watch your debate team and I won't be up in there I won't tell nobody nothing to do. I go straight to the boss. And I'm a consultant. That's what a consultant does. You feel me? I ain't never said I'll run a campaign. Who trying to run a campaign? When y'all ever heard me say I want to be a campaign director? Have you ever heard me say that? Like a politician told me that before. I ain't never thought I was going to run no campaign. You feel what I'm saying? Everything that I ever thought that I was going to do has to do with strategy and a think tank. Everything. Just improving things. Just whatever you got going on, just improving it with advice and data and knowledge and wisdom. Excuse me, y'all. If you haven't liked the video, I ask that y'all double tap the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. That's what I'm saying, Bailey. That's all I'm saying. Branding other people, not the person being branded. You know what I'm saying? And look, me personally, like, I'm not trying to run a campaign. It's just the way that I would do it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Golly, Reagan, she getting on y'all. This stream full of Republicans. I guess all my Democrats came and left. And y'all left the Republicans in here. She said them Democrats got like 80 genders. Bro, it make y'all look weird. It make you look really weird. I'm just being real with you. It just make you look weird. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, even though the Democrats saying that they're not for people or children or whoever who change their sex, they're not for them being harassed, okay? I understand you're not for them being harassed or you want to protect their rights or give them rights. But what I'm saying, you got to understand, to the American people, we just hadn't all the way got this in our minds. How you gonna change? So tomorrow, my name is Greg today, but it's gonna be Gregina tomorrow. My name is George today, but it's gonna be Georgina tomorrow. It's just I just ain't able to get. I ain't able to get that. Like, I can't get it through my head. You feel that? Even though, like, in the Democratic Party, like, it's popular or it's accepted or it's just things that they do, it's not something that I could ever. I don't think the American people have fully comprehended that. A man changing his sex or a woman changing her sex. And you letting a man, or somebody born a man, play sports that a woman plays. This little boy, okay, say I'm not 45 now. I'm 12. But say I'm still Georgina now. I went from George to Georgina. And I'm 12. And I'm like 6'7" with an Adam's apple, but Georgina. I'm 6'7" with an Adam's apple. I weigh a solid 199 pounds. And you playing against a 12-year-old little girl, and she like 2 foot tall, and she weigh half a pound. You know, is how many females then got injured from playing. And you letting this boy play the sport because he say he a girl now. Because it's becoming somewhat of a fashion or a fad to be gay or to change your sex. And now he over here beating on your daughter, this big grown, this 6'7", 300-pound 12-year-old. And he a boy. But nah, he can't say he a boy because y'all gonna get me in trouble. I don't care how you feel about me. I'm gonna tell you what it is. That's the weird. Point blank. That's why they started calling President Trump weird, and he spent all his money on telling people about them supporting transgenders. Yeah, that's weird stuff. You're a Democrat. You just got to get out of that. You got to get out that situation. If y'all talking in a primary, a Democratic primary, you safe. I don't know if you got an open primary. I know. I heard Texas got an open primary, so they're gonna have a bunch of Republicans in there voting. Republicans voting in a Democratic primary in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Donnie says Dems are fighting for trans girls sharing. You see how we in it? This is what we talking about now. We talk about the economy. The Democrats probably gonna win. We talk about the Democrats gonna win. See, that's how y'all gotta understand arguments. They gonna get you in a position. Don't let them people start asking you, is a man or a woman? Don't let them get y'all. All the Democrats across the country, you need to tell the DNC that. Don't let them people get you in a position, in a trap like that. Can a man have a baby? Y'all, hold on a second. Y'all need to hear this. Stephen A. Smith played this. This need to be heard. Because what he said was completely right. Where's Stephen A. Smith at? And if y'all want to go check it out, it's called This Can't Happen. It's the last live stream that he put up. And look, his analysis on it was on point. Completely on point. He independent. He got the right mentality of how the majority of Americans gonna feel about that. Because what he's saying is on point. Hold on.
Senate committee hearing about abortion medication has gone viral after Republican U.S. Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri and Ashley Moody of Florida asked an obstetrician gynecologist if men can get pregnant. Republican Senator Josh Hawley grilled Dr. Nisha Verma, an OBGYN, who refused to answer that very question. Can men get pregnant? Repeatedly, and I mean repeatedly. Verma said she found Hawley's close-ended questions to be politically polarizing and danced around. I mean, the way she danced around these questions, ladies and gentlemen, you got to see it to believe it. Later in the day, after this video I'm going to show you, Hawley had posted the video on the social media site X,
he posted
depicting his full exchange with Verma
Hawley,
with the caption, spoiler alert, men.
Hawley posting this video. He gonna change the conversation. Democrats, you whooping them over here, you whooping them over here. President Trump over there talking about Greenland, you whooping them over here. Ghosts come out, you see on this live stream, you whooping them over here. You got Canada, the Chinese finna put a Canadian flag, you whooping them on all fronts. And then Josh Hawley, this is what he want to talk about, though.
Cannot get pregnant. I'm not going to say anything else until you watch the video. See it for yourself.
Listen.
Take a look.
Dr. Verma, I wasn't sure I understood your answer.
That's Josh Hawley.
Do you think that
and the female is the doctor.
I hesitated there because I wasn't sure where the conversation was going or what the goal was. I mean, I do take care of patients with different identities. I take care of many women.
Transgender.
I take care of people with different identities. So that's where I paused. I think...
she don't know what a woman is.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Well, the goal is just the truth. So can men get pregnant?
Again, the reason I paused there is I'm not really sure what the goal of the question.
The goal is just to establish a biological reality. You just said a moment ago that science and evidence should control, not politics. So let's just test that proposition.
You know, that's what the Democrats always say. Science. You know, they talked about science and not politics. So this how they gonna get you. So this what Josh Hawley asking her science-wise, can a man get pregnant? Or politics, can a man get pregnant? Listen to him.
I take care of people with many identities, but
transgender.
I take care of many women that can get pregnant. I do take care of people that don't identify as women. That
can men get pregnant?
Again, as I'm saying,
let me just remind you testified to a moment ago. Science and evidence should control, not politics. So can men get pregnant? You're a doctor.
Agree. Science and evidence should guide medicine.
Do science and evidence tell us that men can get pregnant?
Yes or no question. Can a man get pregnant? You can't answer that question. Don't get caught in that trap, man. Because I'm telling you, if they get you in a trap like that on national television and a Democrat in there, like Josh Hawley, the moderator not going to grill you like that. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying don't get caught in no trap, because if we see you saying that you can't answer if a man could get pregnant, that make you seem like you weird. You could be right on China and Canada, and you could be right on 1,000 things, but you saying they asking you a simple question, can a man get pregnant? You can't answer that question. Any Democrats, can y'all answer, can a man? And y'all see a Democrat ask them, can a man get pregnant? If they can't answer that question, you might lose an election. You see, he posted it because he wanted us to talk. That's what he wanted us to talk about. Because see, if we start talking about that, then that's an L for the Democrats. With the American people, y'all might be cool amongst y'all own little transgender LGBTQ community, but it's not enough for y'all. Just like y'all don't even have as many people in the LGBT community as President Trump got in MAGA. They got probably, but President Trump got more MAGA voters than y'all got in the LGBT community. You're not big enough to win an election. That's what I'm saying. So they're going to use that against you because the majority of Americans do not support that. And that's what the Republicans want us talking about. If we talk about that, we ain't got to talk about President Trump's failures on this other stuff that he got going on. See what I'm saying? That's what the Republicans wanted to talk about. And you see with Stephen A. Smith, if I'm not mistaken, he on the left on the moral issues, he's on the right on the physical issues. I'm just the opposite. I'm mostly on the left on the physical issues and on the right on the moral issues, but I got a lot of conservatism in me and a lot of liberalism in me on both sides. I'm just a big ball. You see what I'm saying? But I got the feel of the independence, and the independence was running thing. Y'all just haven't figured that out. So I know if I'm looking at something a certain way, then probably the majority of Americans are going to be with me because it's the way my political views align. And I have enough intelligence to be able to discern and see things that a lot of people can't. And so I know that the way my political views are aligned, that if I'm telling you something that the majority of the time, 98% of the times, that's what the majority of Americans feel. I don't think the majority of them, I could tell you for a fact, the majority of Americans don't believe in two men getting married because two men they're not getting married. The majority of Americans don't believe in two women getting married because two women ain't getting married. Well, they are, but not the majority, not even close to a majority. It's just a sliver. Well, I'm going to protect what a sliver. Yeah, I understand standing up for marginalized rights. That mentality stood up for black people when black people needed to be stood up for. That mentality has stood up for the Jews when the Jews was getting... That mentality, yeah, that's God mentality. That's a Jesus mentality. It's just hard when you're trying to stand up for something that we just look at as freak stuff. Why in the world would I want to change my sex to be a girl? That's weird stuff. You ain't finna get no people to buy that. See, you start talking about that, and now, look, do not let them Republicans, because they gonna try you. I think they're gonna try Jasmine too. They don't be as hard on the females as they are with the males generally. But do not, like he did, Colin already, he kept on. Oh, he voted to let girls play. Do you think you want to see their boys, those little boys that, he got an Adam's apple. He like 6'9", and your little 12-year-old girl, he elbowing her in the head when they playing sports with her. And Ted Cruz just kept on saying that to him, beat him in the head with it. He can't recoup. No recouping from this. This a beat. And all the policies that Colin Ara had right, and that he opened them gap to 8 points. Open the gap to 8 points. How does a two-party system differ than a coalition government? Good question. Good thing he didn't ask me that. I'm gonna have to do some research real quick. Rika says, if not the two parties messing anything up, it's the sick thinking the Democrats have fallen for. They are way, way left like never before. But I'm saying, to me, it's like President Trump, he helped pushing them left. If you had a centrist, you couldn't tell the left from the right. If you had a good enough centrist. That's why Big Ghost liked the centrist. I don't care what candidate I work for, that's how I would, if they don't govern like that, I'm going to push them to govern like that. Constantly pushing them to govern for the center. When you govern from the center, that's where the majority of America, I don't see how y'all can't see it. You govern from the center, you're going to be able to help the Republic, and you can help you in the right spot is in the middle. It's like both sides, you can help both sides. You know what I'm saying? You can see, it's like you kind of like can see or feel, well, I'm speaking from myself, I can see where both sides be coming from. And I just make a decision off of my judgment and wisdom of the situation. You know what I'm saying? But I be seeing where Democrats coming from. I see where Republicans coming from. Like me supporting a politician, that might just be, I understand the role of a politician in American government. So that's another thing too. It ain't necessarily me supporting Jasmine is very less about her political stances. Because like I said, I've seen some Republicans who got those kind of political stances where they for taxing people or cutting taxes and doing all this and doing stuff to help the businesses. But I've seen some Republicans, they help me out personally too. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about their role as a federal official first. And then I talk about their policies. That's how I look at the candidate. Because to me, it's about what that candidate or what that politician, what they doing in D.C. is one thing. What that office doing in your community is something totally different. I'm voting on Jasmine for what her office is doing in her community. And if she could take that to the state level, what her Senate office would be doing for the state of Texas would be better than anybody else I see in that race. If y'all tired of the same politicians in the state of Texas, James Tallarico, I ain't hating on you, my brother. Because the way you running your campaign is probably the way I wrote it up. I ain't hating on you, James Tallarico, but you know what I'm saying? Like, in my opinion, he Beto 2.0. He ain't nothing like James Paxton, but he look like him. You still say from the same backgrounds that like Jasmine just changed. If y'all want change, Jasmine to change. She the one that's different. Real time, just being real. That's what I do. I know she be real too. I could tell. She just go say what it is. I feel that. I ain't hating on her. As long as you win, baby. That's all it is. As long as you win. I put my name out there. A lot of us did. We want you to win. As long as you win. And you put me on the payroll, though, that's something totally different. I ain't trying to be no campaign director, though, baby. I'm sure y'all could do that. I'm just going to help you out. Let me get in somebody's ear. Hey, come here real quick. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm not trying to run your stuff like you run your own. Like, I know that. I want you to win. You got to understand, Ghost. That boy come jump in your corner. He wants you to win. That's what that's about. That ain't about no hate. It ain't no hate. You push back all you want to. I ain't going nowhere. That's what that is. You see what I'm saying? You just win the race. That's it. Once you win the race, we all could go home happy. Even if you hire me or not. You don't hire me. You don't put me on the payroll, baby. I just want you to win. You got to understand the love. You know what I'm saying? Somebody on the side show love to a brother. You know what I'm saying? Big Kamala Harris show love to a brother. You feel me? That's my dog. Politically. Like, as far as me doing politics or coming on a live stream or talking politics, like I rock with Kamala. That's just known. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. It's just a connection. It ain't no hate. Like, it's all love. You feel me? This is why I see. Oh, it ain't the Angelo, the one and only Angelo. What's up, my brother? Oh, Angelo, you got to tell me what's been going on with y'all, man. I've been kind of. I don't know, Angelo. I've been kind of, you know what I'm saying? Disappointed, I would say the least. And some moves that's been made by the Trump administration over the few days. Angelo, Greenland, that's all I'm going to say to you, Angelo, Greenland. Angelo, what's up with that? Greenland. Angelo, look, I'll wait for you, my boy. I know y'all down there getting it in. I'll wait for you, Angelo. All I want to say is Greenland. Tell me about Greenland. Angelo, you going to take Greenland by military force? That's all I want to know, Angelo. You know I got to talk to my MAGA brethren. Angelo, y'all going to take Greenland by military force, and you got 17% of the American public that support that. But Angelo, though, listen to what I'm saying, my boy. If you was advising President Trump, would you say that if you was President Angelo? I'm saying, would you say that you would take Greenland by military force? And Angelo, listen to me, fam. Because of that, though, because of that, and because of rhetoric like that, do you know that Canada has signed a $1 trillion trade deal with China? And not only is Mark Carney, he leading the charge, he want all the Europeans to diversify and go start trading with China. If you if you dismantle NATO, guess where the members gonna go? Say it for me one time, Angelo. Say BRICS for me. B period R period I period C period S. Dismantle NATO. Dismantle NATO and watch what happens, Angelo. See, look, you don't have to have no experience to run a campaign to be able to pick up on something like that. You don't need no experience. You see what I'm saying? Say if that was a campaign situation, and I'm telling him by you going after NATO allies and you disbanding NATO, that's going to help your enemy. That's gonna hurt you. See, you just tell the candidate or the politician the advice, and you let them make the adjustment accordingly. I'm not trying to dictate his policy. He the president. He won for a reason. But you just tell him, hey, Mr. President, you doing A, B, and C is gonna result in E. You don't need no experience to do that. Oh, I need experience to tell you that if you go down that road, you gonna if you drive down that road, you get in the wreck. I don't need no experience to do that. I don't never have to run a campaign to be able to do that. Never. You feel that? I don't never have to go canvas or door knocking to be able to tell you if you go down that road that it's gonna be a crash. All I'm saying, goes different. I'm not trying to be no campaign director. I'm just a strategist. And my strategy better than any of them dorks that you're going to be talking about. He talking about on the internet, and he on the internet. I'm watching him on the internet, and he hating on people on the internet. I'm watching dude on the internet hating on people on the internet. Oh, you listen to these internet people. Who's an internet person, bro? I'm not an internet person. In real life, I'll probably slap them words out your mouth in real life. You feel me? That's what it is, baby. Big ghostwriter. Angela, I'm just being real, though. This dude, like, Jasmine, I ain't even gonna even do it. It ain't even worth it. You feel me? I just want baby girl to win, bro. I'm not into the bravado. I'm not into the ego. I'm not into the this and the that. Do it, y'all do that. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm saying fat boy ain't going to tell you what I'm telling you. He a fat boy, Angelo, but I'm a different kind of fat boy. He ain't no fat boy like me. He like a skinny fat boy or something. He ain't no real fat boy. I'm the real fat boy. The real fat boy going to just tell you. You feel me? Man, I'm tweaking in here, though. What's good, though, Angelo? Man, right after I gave you them 5 wins on that parlay, Angelo, I ain't see you for like 2 weeks. Hey, Angelo, right after I gave you them 5 wins on that parlay, I ain't seen you in like 3 weeks, Angelo. That boy just went ghost on me. Literally. Angelo, he just went ghost on the brother. What's up, my beautiful peoples? Without NATO, is there any reason to continue beefing with Russia? Yes. For Donnie, that was a great question. That was an excellent question. If President Trump and them are making the moves that they're making, have they envisioned America, and more importantly, the world, without NATO? Without NATO, is there a reason to continue beefing with Russia? Yes. Without NATO, you're going to end up repeating the same thing that happened to make you have to create NATO. But this time, according to the script, you either believe God or you not. You either believe the Bible or you don't. But this time, you ain't going to get a chance to reform NATO. This time, it's going to be the end of the world. That's what Revelation says. In the battle of Armageddon. You don't have to believe it. It could sound like a fairy tale. You could call me crazy and a nut all you want to. Ain't nobody care. That's on you. I'm telling you what the King James Version in Revelation says. That's what's going to happen. Because I know we at that time. We about at that time. So we keep NATO together. You see what I'm saying? Who knows how long it'll be before God ends the world or the end of the world come? Who knows how long that'll be? But I'm saying if you disbanding NATO and doing stuff like that, you fast tracking to that time. Or it just might be about that time, but we fast tracking to. 80 years, NATO been there. There's a reason why we formed NATO. Donnie and Angelo, it's a reason why. We had a world before without NATO. NATO is only 80 years old. There was a world without NATO. And we seen it led to how many people died in World War I and World War II combined? Over 150 million. Imagine that. Over 150 million human deaths due to war. So we seen the world without NATO. And we said we didn't want to live in a world like that. So we formed a Northern Atlantic Treaty Alliance or organization. Member nations, Europe, America, we got friends, Australia, Canada, you know what I'm saying? And we maintain the world order because of NATO. Russia won't cross certain lines. You know, they're not going to go poking on them little bitty nations around there, taking their resources like President Trump look like he trying to do, bullying people. I wouldn't say the Chinese people, they really don't, they seem like a peaceful people for real. They don't really just get in a whole bunch of wars and conflicts. But they will over Taiwan for sure. I'm saying what NATO has done, NATO has stabilized the entire world with a few hotspots like the Middle East. The whole world could look like the Middle East. President Trump was trying to get rid of NATO. Well, look at what was going on in Asia. He said he put out 8 wars. You trying to get rid of NATO, you're going to be trying to put out 32 wars. NATO is keeping the order, the peace. That's the peace. Look, if you have any sort of problems in your neighborhood, Donnie, what you going to do? You're going to pick up the phone and you're going to call law enforcement. I'm saying when Venezuela have a problem with their president, or when the Iranians people have a problem with their leaders suffocating them, they starving to death, go outside and protest, he'll just shoot them all. He'll kill 50,000 people. And when the Iranians, they can't pick up the phone and dial 911. They can't call the police. NATO has maintained order across the world. We can't handle every skirmish. But I'm saying if you had a world police force, I think you would have a whole lot of less dictators if you had a force to hold them responsible. I am not against that. I'm against a police state or authoritarian rule. I believe in democracy. But I'm saying if we wanted to if President Trump wants to rewrite an order, he cannot he can't absence the force. That's going to put a strain on the U.S. military and U.S. forces that I don't know if they're able to handle that. He going to find out that soon. He put your armada in Venezuela, and then you're going to put a little baby armada out there by Iran, and then you're going to you're going to stretch them forces so thin he going to see that. That's why you got NATO, so we going to get England to help us. See, that's how I would govern. And you talking about President Trump, you getting money from him to chip in to NATO. NATO, well, what they doing with the money? Are they buying weapons and giving them to Ukraine? So America winning 2 times. Yeah. So, okay, you got a problem in Iran. Let England put some ships out there. They got a Navy. A good one too. Shoot, let the French put some ships out there. You trying to attack the Danish? Let the Danish, you know they gonna stand and fight with you. They said they done stood by America in every single conflict America has ever had. That's disgraceful to treat them people like that. He don't think there's no consequence, Angelo, from just doodling on people. That's what he's doing. He's doodling on them. It's like me. If I go into McDonald's, I be treating people being mean. Them people, the whole community, nobody likes me. They don't want me to be mean. They told me that. Well, President Trump, it's okay for your leader to doodle on people. That's what I'm saying. You missing something. You can't come never talk to me about anybody. I don't believe you when you say that you are after a sexual predator. I don't believe nobody in the American government when they say that they are trying to catch a sexual predator or a child molester or a pedophile. Because if you release the Epstein list, you will have a whole lot of pedophiles in jail. You protect the pedophiles you want to protect, and you catch the one. That's what I'm saying. You got to be authentic when you're doing and saying what you're doing and saying. You can't promote democracy in Iran, but you snatching Maduro. It's a lot of tactics. I've said this before. He uses a lot of tactics. Sometimes he wins and sometimes he loses. But what I'm saying is Ghost would have gave him a strategy, not a tactic. I would have the chessboard. If you listen, this for anybody, this ain't just President Trump. If you got a tactic that you using, I'm a bomb boats in drug. They running drugs. They running drugs goes from Venezuela. So this how we gonna start before we get Maduro. I'm saying with that tactic that you have, me predicting, and me. I'm going to come with your whole strategy because I'm going to tell you when you do this, you're going to have a result over this and you ain't even seeing this on the back door and you don't even see that over there. And clear as day, that mail truck over there, y'all ain't seen none of that. Ghost going to help you see the whole chessboard. And if you see the whole chessboard, then you got a strategy now. Is you those tactics that he using that he wins off of. What I'm saying is I could help your boy get a whole strategy, Big President T. You want to listen to your boy. I'm going to lay it all out for you at once. Before you see it, before he got to the move where he's snatching Maduro, but I done told you past that. I done went to Iran. I done went to some other countries where you don't see that I see. Cause see, he gave me the security clearance, and he got me up there in the back rooms, in the back halls. I'm gonna be out of the CIA, the FBI. But I'm gonna talk to air. I'm gonna get my own intelligence. You gotta know who Ghost is. I'm gonna know everything going on, and so when I tell you, I'm gonna tell you everything. Like it's the whole. I'm gonna give you a whole picture that you can't see. So your tactic that you give me them, I'm gonna give you that whole strategy. You're going to get it from me. The more I know, the more I could get the information, I could analyze it for you. Think tank, baby. I told you, Carl Warhol, I'm not David Plouffe. I'm not some superstar $10 million campaign director. Nah, I ain't ran no campaign. I imagine eventually I probably will run a campaign. Eventually. But I ain't to that point. I'll never be canvassing. I knock on doors with the people who canvassing, but that won't be my role. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really ain't trying to be a campaign director. I definitely wouldn't do it in no race as big as Jasmine. I don't want that responsibility. You know what I'm talking about? The advice or the strategy that I provide, like, I want whoever running it to have the option of not to listen to it. You feel me? Because that way you can't blame me for nothing. This is your campaign, so here's where I'm going to lay it out for you. And I'm saying if you got more advisors than me, everybody going to be telling you and you going to determine. And what I'm saying, she going to be doing what I'm saying all the way to the hill. Because I know I lived this. Go ask my parents. What I'm saying, it's going to be play out more than look at what I do in court. Dude, little fat boy on the internet, Angelo, ask him if he ever I ain't never ran a campaign, but I won an appeal in the U.S. Court of Appeals before. I can't get no love for that. I thought I'd get some love for that. I ain't never ran a campaign, but I won appeals in the U.S. Court of Appeals before, fat boy. Internet. I'm not no internet nothing. I got live cases in court. These real cases. That ain't no internet, boy. You confused. Them real cases. Thank you for that love I was looking for. You see, y'all feel me? That's real. That ain't no internet. The politics stuff. How else I'm gonna talk to Jazzy? Go on, Jazzy. Go on, hit that email that's sent on that email, girl. Give me that phone number. And I won't even have to do Jasmine for Texas. You gonna put me on the payroll? I'm gonna be on your phone. That's where the Jasmine for Texas is gonna be, on your phone. I just gotta get back to Texas and find out what's going on. And I'm gonna keep an eye on everything. I'll be at all of Tellerico's campaign. All his campaign rallies. I'll be going to all of them. I'm gonna know everything that's going on. That's just who Ghost is in my mind, my head. I'm gonna overthink. I'm gonna overanalyze. I'm gonna put more data in my mind than the 99% of people. Well, I wouldn't say that. Let me take that back. I put more data in my mind than probably 50% of people, but like I regurgitate that data in ways that 99% of the population cannot do. That's facts. You just gotta know me. Cause I ain't got $1 million. It's cause I be slapping people when I get around them. I'm a disabled veteran. I be slapping people when I get around them. That's why I ain't got $1 million. You see what I'm saying? That's a personality disorder. I can't get along with people. You gotta get along with people that make money. I ain't never worked a forklift. Well, maybe once. I got certified for it, but I never worked it when I went to Tesla. So you got people in here, all these people, they got experience riding forklifts. Ghost ain't never rode no forklift before. Not like talking about. I did at Walmart, it's a different kind of forklift. You picking up hundreds, thousands of pounds up off the ground and moving that stuff fast. I went to Tesla, I was top 5. Big ghostwriter. Go ask Elon and them, pull up the papers. Gregory D. Deason. I was top 5 every day in production. Top 5. Got more of the top 5 in my moves, guaranteed. Top 5 in moves every day. That is because you got experience. Look, LeBron James in his first year, his rookie year, second year, it don't matter how much experience that dude he playing against, LeBron better than him. It's just that simple. That experience don't mean nothing. It does 99% of the time, but when you got somebody he just better, LeBron better than him. A rookie LeBron, I would rather a rookie LeBron than a 10-year player, almost anybody else, or a rookie Jordan, or a rookie Kobe, or a rookie Allen Iverson. When that boy or a rookie Jasmine Crockett. And you a star, it don't matter. That experience don't really mean too much. You talking about Michael Jackson, when he was a kid, when rookie in his career, that's when they the best. LeBron 3, 4, 5 years, he the hungriest trying to win the championship. That's when he the best and the most dominant. If you play highlights in Kobe's career, it's gonna be rookie like his early. You playing, he 18, 19, 20 years in the league. That nigga, excuse me. That dude, he can't even play no more. He can't even play no more. You see what I'm saying? He an old man. Yeah, bro. It's just the way I look at stuff, man. The way I move and stuff, man. Yeah, but Jasmine for Senate, though, definitely 10,000%. Just want to win, baby. You feel me? Hour and 48 minutes. Good morning, Christmas. Good morning, baby. How you doing? Who that is? That's Regina. I love it when you say that, Ghost, about giving the smackdown. You feel me? Hey, man, I just be like trying to keep it real, though, to tell you the truth, you know? Like, I'm really, like, I get in situations where I have adversity, you know what I'm saying? People, like, come at me or something like that, or I come at people, but, like, I'm really, like, a good dude, like, you feel me? Like a chill dude, you know what I'm saying? It's just that sometimes you just you gotta stand up, man. You gotta stand 10. You know? The stuff I'm doing, like, as far as Legal Wars Live, giving strategy and analysis, like, I think the biggest thing is just to be honest. I wouldn't say necessarily real or truthful. I would say be honest. Always honest with the politician. Always. Or the candidate. Just be honest. I'm going to give you my honest analysis, and my honest assessment of any kind of political situation. And that's big facts. Guys, it is an hour and 50 minutes. We've been streaming. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys, if y'all hadn't liked the video, I ask that y'all like the video. I know if you have not subscribed to the channel, like, you need to get that subscription going immediately. And if you have not hit that notification bell, you won't know that we live when we live. You see what I'm saying? Hour and 50 minutes, y'all. I just wanted to come in here and I just wanted to talk about that, man. Like, I would hope that, I think if any of us, all of us, if they could hear all of our voices, that would be great. But if you was able at least to let your voice be heard, and you could see the benefit, or you could see the results if someone listened to your voice. Because President Trump, he listens to people voices, and he reacts off of people. Like, everything he does, someone's coming to him, so he's regurgitating information, and he's reacting off of what he's regurgitating. You understand that? So what I'm saying is, if just as a regular person, if you was able to communicate your feelings and your thoughts, especially if you knew you was right, like goes, I be knowing I be right. Hey, that could be a song. I be knowing I be right. Knowing I be right. I be knowing I be right. Hey, let me stop being stupid. Hey, Regan, I be acting like a little young person sometimes. You know, you gotta have fun. You know what I'm saying? She says, very true, only one master and he rules this world. How could anyone ever think different? That is so true. A lot of people truthfully don't obey God. You see, look, a lot of people think that obeying a man or obeying them is not obeying God. That's what they think. Obeying God is obeying scriptures. It's not obeying what a preacher say. The people who in that preacher's church, then they need to obey that preacher. That's it. Who else he gonna tell the church of Scientologists? If you got a church, you got 100 people in there. You used to have 500 and 400 of them gone. So you spending all your time chasing, excuse me, you spending all your time chasing down the 400 of them that ain't left. Come on, man. You obey God, you obey the scriptures. That's obeying God. You're part of a church, then you obey your preacher. I don't have no pastor, no preacher. I ain't under no man authority. I'm under the authority out here on these streets. I'm under the authority of the state of New York and federal law. And as far as a Christian, I'm under the authority of Jehovah Jireh, being washed in Jesus' blood, and that's it. I ain't what's somebody telling me about my life. I ain't you. Well, who are you? Well, you gonna stand in the same line I'm standing in before God. You act like you ain't gonna be in line, like you ain't gonna stand before God. You standing before God too. You gonna get dealt with too for what you did. Beaten with many stripes. That's what the scriptures say. Some of y'all you think you gonna be straight when you get to heaven. You gonna get a good lashing, a good beating. All this stuff you doing down here fooling with people. Yeah, bro, you obey the scriptures. That's why I tell them, give me a scripture for what I'm doing that's wrong. I want a scripture. I don't want to hear what no preacher said, no Baptist church. The Southern Baptist Commission said it was wrong. Bro, bring me the dude who said, I'll slap the taste bud. That's a heretic. Don't add nothing to God's word. That's what they saying. That's why I ain't part of their organization. Money-making organizations. How many millions of dollars did the Southern Baptist Convention make? And I'm not hating on your organization, but how many millions of dollars y'all done made? Billions, trillions almost, probably all them years. Taking poor people money, selling Jesus. Don't tell me about your organization. Do your thing. Don't come over here messing with me. So you don't realize. I know it's fun for some of y'all little bored losers, but this is who I am. So until I get my mama age and my daddy age, like I'm 70, until I get old like that, this is who I am, boy. I'm a fighter. I'm gonna be at your. I'm gonna get on your throat. Real talk. You come over here messing with me. Don't mess with me. Do your thing with your church and your people. Why you worried about me? I ain't part of you. Like what kind of language you need me to say that in? Because I ain't trying to hurt your feelings, but every time you come over here messing with me, you know what I'm saying? That's how I talk to my ops, my opponents. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it, bro. You bait the scriptures. Ain't no man, ain't no church, ain't no organization. I guarantee you that dude who said that is a part of a church or organization. 10,000%. See how wise Ghost is? I base scriptures. So you got to come to me with a scripture. You can't come to me with what no preacher think. I'm not a part of that preacher church. That's his thing. Come to me with a book, a chapter, and a verse. A preacher could tell you everybody in his church not to wear blue socks. They got to only wear red socks. And the Bible say, well, he bound is bound and bound and bound, and that's the preacher, but he ain't got no authority over me. I ain't part of nothing you doing. That's you. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'll obey scripture. That's it. I'm 45 years old. How you obey your mama? What? I'm 45. I respect my mama. I'm a grown man. My own motion. That's what that's going to be. What, New York or California? You pick. Colorado is the final destination. Your choice. I'm 45, nothing but time. Colorado, the final. I'll give you the script. I'll give you the whole script. You can't beat it. Colorado, the final destination. A year, 2 years, 6 months, 2 months. Who knows? But we going to play this in New York or Cali. That's it. Ain't no South. That's a fantasy. It's your choice. You don't want to play in New York City? Then California, a big state. We go play it out west. To what's up, Governor Newsom? Salute, Big Governor G. On my way. That's Kamala's state. Here I come. They already know it. You heard me? Fast tracking. They out there fast tracking the Cali. People with gay no-goes. That's a next destination. Train, plane, or you can't go by sea or bus. You feel me? Or yeah, I'll have to skate out there. It's going to take me a week to get out there, but we going to live stream all the way to California, every state. Oh, y'all, we in Ohio. Oh, y'all, we back in Illinois. Oh, y'all, we in Nebraska, Oklahoma, Colorado, Arizona, Nevada. There we go. Here we is, California. We'll be out here for the rest of the year. Why them people in Mississippi talking, bro? It's a wrap. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the kind of dude. Look, when I first left Mississippi, I said I ain't going, like, when I left was in Texas, I ain't finna see Mississippi unless I get paid. Oh, 20,000, I drop in and see my mama. Somebody back on some nonsense, some stuff happened. I'm out of there. I see you in double water. I don't see the profit. Look, bro, I'm from Mississippi. I done been since 2022. I done been in Mississippi for 3 months. I done been to 24 states. 3 years. I've been in Mississippi for 3 months. I don't see the profit. Where the profit at? There's got to be profit in it. Because I'm 45, I ain't getting no younger. And I got to settle. Colorado, the final destination. That's B-Facts. I might not see Mississippi for a decade. Depends on what happened. A solid decade. Only thing there, my mama. That's it. And my family, my sisters, my nieces. Well, my nieces don't even live. I don't even think they live in Mississippi. They probably live in Alabama, son. My nephew, that's it. My family. And I got family in Texas. If I had to choose between Texas and Mississippi, that ain't no choice for me. But I love Biloxi, though. But I ain't going to put up with no nonsense from nobody. It's about respect. If I don't disrespect you and your community, you ain't got no right to disrespect me or do it. And you know what's coming. Every time. I'm telling you, these people going to make me admit. Guys, with my business, that's why it's called Legal Wars Live. I never talk about this stuff, but it's how it started. Guys, with my business, I filed 26 cases since what? August of 2023? No, 2022 when I started my business. Almost 4 years. Outside of 3 cases, 22 cases I got from people being stupid and dealing with me. I wrote 20 cases over there. Got paid all kinds of thousands. I got 4 cases right now, and it's like over $1 million on everything I love. I'm going to cash out. I got more cases to write. I got more cases to do. I'm finna pop off on the case right now. I catch somebody else with 2 cases. I catch somebody else, I'm going to pop off again. It's too easy. Yeah, you dreaming about it was an L. Bro, I won 9 cases in a row. The dude who used to tell me it was L's all the time, this dude this man wanted to battle me so bad. He paid $2,400 to battle me. He paid $2,400. I didn't pay a penny. Not $1. He paid $2,400 to battle me. I don't care, bro. Listen, I King Fire, listen, in my last like 9 cases, I had 3 of them that wasn't either served. I had 3 that wasn't served. I hadn't had none the court dismissed in I don't know how long. But I had 3 that wasn't served. Last 9 cases, that's 6 victories. Every single case. Houston, College Station. I'm talking about Mississippi. Well, not Mississippi. Houston, College Station. I'm trying to think of the cases, the last 6. Because that's been a while, bro. Because I done filed cases for 14 months. Every single one of them. W's. Bro, I lost 2 cases. I lost a case, and then I lost a case. Bro, so out the last 8 cases, I won 7 of them, and 6 of them in a row. Everything I put on paper almost is win. It's a W, straight W. Everything I put on paper almost straight W. Hey, look, tell that internet person out, that big podcast that do. He ain't never won in the U.S. Court of Appeals. I ain't never ran a campaign. Hey, which one? How many of y'all say y'all lawyers? And I know you ain't won in the Court of Appeals. Tell that lie. I know you haven't. I'm talking about lawyers that did thousands of cases. You licensed in this state, and federally, and you ain't never won in the Court of Appeals, though. I'm just a paralegal. I ain't even an attorney, and I have. Easily. And I want to do it again. I dare judge to dismiss my case. I dare you. I double dog dare you. I'm going to walk the dog on you. Hey, ask my daddy. Look, when I was in Houston, When he dismissed my case, they dismissed my case. I said, Pops, what chance I got to win? He said, 0. Ask him. I put this on everything I love. He said, Pops, what chance do I have to win? He said, 0. That case got sent right back to Austin, and I got a check, boy. Come on with it. Come on with it. Come on. I be baiting them into it, too. I be baiting that judge to dismiss it. Minimum effort. Minimum effort, and I'm going to give you maximum result. And that appeals court, that's where you make your night. That's the second highest court in America. It's a fantasy for most of us to ever touch the Supreme Court with a case. It's a fantasy for most attorneys. 99.99.99, that's for the few. You know what I'm saying? You get lucky at the Supreme Court to take your case. But I'm saying in the Court of Appeals, that's pretty much the highest you're going to go. The U.S. Court of Appeals. So I'm out there in the 5th District, y'all. I'm down to N.O. I'm down in New Orleans, baby. That's my favorite court in America. Is that U.S. Court of Appeals in New Orleans. Bro, I dare you to, bro, I'm telling you. You might as well go ahead and bend over. And I hate talking like this being a Christian, but when this stuff like this, I change as daddy. I'm a different person. You might as well go and get it. Because I'm telling you, I'm coming with something that you have not seen before. Ever. Go ask those appeal court judges about that last appeal that I wrote. I'm a writer, boy. You're going to make me try. I beat you without trying. I be playing with these dummies. Real talk. I be playing with them. I just win what I gotta win because I really ain't got time for that. Ain't the kind of person I am. I ain't really trying to do it. They pulling it out of me. So they making me do it. So I ain't gonna get no effort. I have tried. We get in that appeals court though. I'm finna show you what that is. I'm gonna show you what that ameliorated legal is. I'm gonna show you what I was doing out there in Houston with Elon and them. I'm gonna show you. Go to the appeals court. Bro, it ain't nothing like you, bro, it's happened to me when I was working at Tesla and they fired me. And the court said, nah, he going back to work. And you walking back in the building with the people that fired you. You walking right back in there, looking at them right in their eyes. The people fired you, you walking right back in there like, nah, I wasn't fired for real. What ghosts tell you? Ghosts ain't get fired, so I'm not fired. Bro, that's power. Or when the police charge you with some tickets and you tell them you're going to rip them up before you, imagine with a federal judge, though. And I told that judge, I told him, he won't listen. This is a federal judge, bro. I'm just a regular dude, and these all facts. Ask the people, ask them. And I told that federal judge, I told him. He wouldn't listen. So that case got sent back. I got paid, so it got dismissed because I wrote them. I dismissed it. I didn't have no choice. Oh boy, he done paid me. And when he paid me, he said I had to leave everything out there on the table. Everything. Because I wanted to finish that appeal. That's what I do. This is a judge. It's a federal judge. So it's a legal battle, an argument, legal wars. That's what it's all about. Why I want to argue with the attorney when he know he wrong? That ain't no fun in that. I want to argue that judge. That judge don't do the right thing, boy. You're going to have to come in there and we going to get to it. Mano y mano. I challenge you to a duel, my brother. Imagine me challenging federal judge like that and beating them, walking a dog on them. Like I call it, walking a dog on you, boy. Because I know the effort I'm going to put into that appeal. I know it. And to a lawsuit, bro, it depends on how I'm feeling. If you give me that computer and I'm motivated, I could give you an A+ lawsuit. If I'm not motivated, you're going to get some slop. If it's got to get done and I know it's got to get done, but I don't feel like doing it, then I'm going to just put anything out there. You feel that? That's my weakness. But you talking about the appeals, bro, I'm going to feel like every day, because you dismissed my case. You done pissed me off. I'm telling you, bro, give me that computer, boy. It's on. I'm gonna try to embarrass you. But I'm gonna have a case law. I told my daddy how I do it. Every line I'm gonna have a case law. Every number 10 case law. Now, you know, y'all don't look them legal books, bro. Them people, the case law half the page. They got more than the case law than that on the page. That's how my lawsuit's gonna look. Every line gonna be case law, research. Boy, I'm coming. You take me in that appeals court, especially in that Fifth Circuit, because I'm 1-0 in there. I'm a kid, because I don't care. But so he throw my case, I won't be 9-3. I'm gonna still be 9-2 because that case it's still gonna be alive in the appeals court. You see what I'm saying? Because he gonna send the case back. So you're gonna have to run it back, just like they send me back to Tesla. You're gonna have to run that back. So he sent the case back to the appeals court. That's still a live case. I'm assuming in Mississippi, in the state court, so I could pick up a win in the state court on them. I'm gonna get a different statute. I'm gonna bend it, and that's gonna be a fresh lawsuit. Now you got them. Now you got 2 lawsuits, and then I'm gonna get on that appeal. That little state court in Mississippi, I'm gonna just copy and paste. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna just copy and paste out the original federal lawsuit, okay? And then I'm going to just fill in the new information. I'll have that done in a day or 2. And then I'll be on that appeal. And I'm telling you, I'm going to walk the dog. I'm going to embarrass you. 2-0 in the U.S. Court of Appeal. Who next? I'm going to eat you, boy. Like a Cheerio. I'm going to crunch you, boy. Real talk. That ain't no disrespect to nobody. That's just who I am. RS1 says repent. What? He trying to tell a Christian to repent, man. Get out of my live stream, man. You know what I'm saying? Go back to wherever you can. Go crawl back into wherever hole you come from. Mark said, y'all ain't ready for nothing. What we ain't ready for? Mark, you gonna have to get your, you a bot, Mark. We don't do no bots on this channel. Get the bots out of here. Where the real humans at in here, man? Y'all just gonna let the bots talk. Just talking to King Fire, there's no real proof of that, though. I'd be interested in reading about it or studying that once I go back from my master's in anthropology, specifically receiving around religious studies. Wow, that's nice. Man, I want to get my master's, man. I really do. It'll only take me like 2 years. I know a lot of people say it usually take 2 years, but I'm saying less than, bro. I'm talking about my credits. I got so many credits. I need my master's degree, man. President Trump started making all these freaking rules about going back to school and all this different stuff and student loans because I can't afford to pay nobody for no freaking graduate school. Are you serious? That's going to be $100,000. I didn't had to fight. Like VP Harris, shout out VP Harris. I love you, baby, forever. But like I didn't fight, but like I got like $70-some thousand forgiven. I'm talking about President Trump and them, like they on some other stuff. So, you know, I might just have to wait. I'm waiting on the military too. So the military could give me a GI Bill. I go back to school. It ain't nothing President Trump could do about that. That ain't no loan. That's money. So if the military give me that GI Bill, then I go back to school. But if not, I'll probably just wait till Gavin Newsom and them or the Democrats, because they'll make it to where I go back to school, and me going back to school, like I'll be super straight. Shoot, that graduate school gonna cost about 100 racks. That's the law. I need $100,000 to go to school to get my master's. Real talk, 100 racks. So President Trump and them, they're not finna try to do that. But a Democrat, Gavin Newsom and them, they'll do that. If I had to depend on Governor Hochul to go back to school, that 100,000, they'll do that. You see what I'm saying? But President Trump and them, they just not, I don't know, that's just what it is. So I have to wait till that time comes before I'm able to do that. What my boy King Fire said, I hadn't seen him in here talk. I know he in here. He says the Roman Catholic Church is of the devil, nothing but evil. I don't like doing that, though, King Fire. I feel what you're saying, but I just don't like doing that. I don't like downing on, because not everybody in the Roman Catholic Church is not a Christian. You saying the organization within itself, well, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. If you're saying the church within itself, but I'm saying the people in the church, I wouldn't just say like all of them are not Christians or not saved or not, like, I just disagree with that. And the vast majority of them might not be, but I just wouldn't say that. I think I know some Catholics who I believe are really Christians, who are real Christians. But you saying that about the church, I see where you come from in the church because of all the stuff and controversy the church been through. King Fire ain't seen you in here, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Student loans should not be forgiven. Donnie, I completely disagree with that. Completely. And VP Harrison forgave my loans, and any kind of fighting I got to do with this administration over that, I'll sue you. Real talk. No disrespect. It'll only be the 5,001 time you got sued in 13 months. You know what I'm saying? United States, how many times the United States sued under Joe Biden? Probably about 500. I'm just making that up. But I know I could do stuff like that and be right. Done it all my whole life. Maybe not 500. It might be 300. Might be 400. Might be 900. But I'm saying it's a low number. President Trump about 5,000. He got sued 1,200 times by one organization. I know the ACU done got him about 300-400. I know California got him about 100 times. We looked up, Oregon got him 52 times. They said it cost them 30-something million, but they got back like 40-50 million. It'd only be the 5,001 lawsuit, President Trump. He don't care about America getting sued and America losing money and spending money on lawsuits. He don't care about that. But yeah, man, that student loan, though, forgiveness, you do need that. Imagine how productive I'll be with a master's degree. You gave me an associate's degree and I won in the Court of Appeals. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm not talking about nobody else. I'm talking about ghosts. You gave me an associate's degree. I went and got a business license at 40 years old, and I went and won in the U.S. Court of Appeals. Imagine what I'm going to accomplish with a master's degree in the legal field. Because all the lawyers, all them talking got master's degrees, did 1,000 cases, and I know she ain't won nothing in no Court of Appeals. She ain't even seen, she might have seen the insides of the Court of Appeals, but she ain't won nothing in there. Out of 1,000 some cases. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, you gave me an associate's degree and a business license, and the crazy went and won in the Court of Appeals. Imagine with a master's degree, what I'm going to accomplish with that master's degree. You feel that? Yeah, you need them student loans forgiven so I could go accomplish that and I could provide those tax dollars to the U.S. economy. It's 3 degrees out here in New York. I thought I'd never say that. 3 degrees. Hey, my mama said, boy, you know it's going to be like 75 degrees down there. I said, ain't no way. This ain't Buffalo. This big NYC. 3 degrees. 3 degrees. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. When it get back to 60, when I get to California, hey, boy, I get so excited. You talk about going to Cali. Because I already know what time it is. Boy, look, it might take me 3-5 years before I get to Colorado. I might not get to Colorado till I'm 50. I'll be in Cali, and I'll be flying back and forth or driving or riding the train back and forth to Mississippi to see my mama. And it might take me 100 years to get to Colorado. Because I already know California like a whole country within itself. like Texas, but it's a lot more. Boy, you San Diego? Boy, you talk get on Highway 1, boy, and that Beamer, boy, I be that you feel me? You know what I'm saying? I swear, if he's out playing that stuff had me hyped up, boy, I be doing about 120 down Highway 1, boy, them curves. I know, but I can't wait, boy, get to Cali, baby. You feel me? I'm going back to Cali. Hey, listen, Donnie, that's not how that works, though, Bubba. That's not how that works. Donnie, put me in a top law firm in America. Are you talking about how much money what my actual worth is? Bro, I'm talking about Morgan and Morgan. Morgan and Morgan. You talking about the #1 personal injury firm in America. Morgan and Morgan. Or they used to be. Let's go off of when they was, okay? Now, put me in Morgan and Morgan. They'll put me on one case, bro. One case and a personal injury is $5-10 million case. You talking about what I'm worth? With the skill set I have, you talking about what I'm worth? Ask how many. They got 1,000 lawyers in Morgan and Morgan. Only 10 of them won in the Court of Appeals. Ain't nobody beat no judges and no arguments. Y'all just don't understand. You're not in the legal field, so you don't respect that and understand that. My mama got an attorney who is goated in the state of Mississippi in that litigation. He is a general. He gets saluted and respected. That $1 million case or that case that big that my mama, I'm saying like that dude went in the Court of Appeals. Ain't too many of them done that. I'm trying to tell you, I'm a paralegal. I don't have no law license. I ain't never been to law school. I never worked for an attorney. I can't say been trained because that's how I get the degree. But I'm saying I don't have a law license and I never, ever worked for an attorney. Independent, all the way freelance. One in the Court of Appeals, litigating against the attorneys. 9 and 2, that's a skill set that can make a business millions. I can make a law firm millions. But I'm telling you, look, you talking about me in politics, forget that. Let's get real. Ghost got to go to work. I'm in New York City, Connecticut in striking distance. Boy, they put me in a law firm and let me run them paralegals. That firm will never lose a case. You talking about I'll make that firm $1 billion in 10 years. That's the skill. You got to, so you only thinking of Ghost, what's his worth? Or how many cases, or he's making himself, because you've seen it with a Miller Ray Legal. Look at it as Ghost, the skill set that you developing human capital in your country, boy. You don't understand that. You don't think like that. You developing capital. I could see if I was a forklift job. You talking about in the legal field. And then the amount of edge that you know, this dude a genius, bro. If you support the government, that's why Kamala, she need to go ahead and get back in office because she got sense. That's why I support Jasmine. That's why I support AOC. And that's why President Trump got a hard time with me. That's why. It's called human capital. I can make businesses millions. A law firm $1 billion. I could run this whole team of paralegals. I've done the things that the lawyers hadn't done. I litigate against lawyers the whole case without no lawyer. So I'm going to go in a place where I'm working underneath lawyers. So all them paralegals, they going to work for big ghostwriter. I'm going to run the whole team. You talking about a law firm like that, his head paralegal, he paying about $150,000 to $200,000 a year. That's my starting salary, 200 racks. You talking about managing all them paralegals? Oh yeah, that's 200,000. And with the record I have, and you talking about experience in the legal field, and then do that and give me a master's degree, and you see the worth that I'll bring to a law firm, capable of bringing to a law firm. It's unimaginable. It's unfathomable from a paralegal. If I just went to law school and got my degree as an attorney, then I wouldn't be nothing special. A little bit. He won in a court of appeals, so he a good attorney, but he just an attorney. But for a paralegal, a paper pusher, to have that kind of skill set that you might have a paralegal that could win a court case as a lead attorney. They do that sometimes under attorney supervision. It's completely legal. You might have a superstar with you, but you're not going to have them all the way. But I'm talking about I've been all the way out there butt naked against them attorneys by myself and be eating them, confident I'm beating them confidently, talking smack while I'm beating them. Boy, you put me in a law firm, bro. I'm talking about I bring invaluable worth to that law firm immediately. No training. Immediately. I could help them paralegals in their argument, in their writing, in their argument, legal arguments and writing. I could bring value to that law firm on day one. So what's your $100,000 you gave me for school? What's that? We gonna make that in one case. It ain't no telling how much in taxes that firm paying. You gonna get all that back in tax firm off of ghost education. If you put me in that field where I'm supposed to be, you'll get that back off in 1 year. You paid $100,000 for my education. Ghost gonna be responsible for that law firm winning every case they got. We ain't gonna want to lose. I don't want to lose nothing. And anything that's going in that court, just could dismiss it. That don't count. I'm talking about before the lawyer get on the case. Once the lawyer get on the case and the judge dismiss it, that do count. That's an L. That's why you got to go to the appeals court to save that L. And then that's your last chance, or it's going to be an official L. Unless you get the Supreme Court to get it. It take about a year or two for me to get an L. I'm going to get paid before I get that L. I know what I'm doing. I don't want no L's. I want to win everything. I got everything. You call me a Freemason, 33 degrees, baby. I don't want to lose nothing. 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 Not when it come to no court. That's what I do. You talking about an internet personality and talking politics on the internet. Okay, you right. I ain't never ran no campaign. But if I did run one, I don't want to lose nothing. When I put my name on something, I saw my name on them papers, boy, that means something. The paper could be ugly. This ain't a beauty contest. It could the exhibit. You might not could see the exhibit. This ain't a beauty contest. You feel that? I don't want to lose nothing. Hey, that's good though, King Fire, but it's nothing wrong with acquiring knowledge. How you gonna have knowledge? Them pagans and heathens got knowledge. I got more knowledge than them. I got the knowledge that count. Boy, stop. I got the knowledge that count. Look, and I keep it with me too. I gotta have a paper copy. You know, you could get every one of these books on your phone. You feed me? But I'm saying I gotta have that paper copy so you know I could just pop it open. I pop it open the First Chronicles. You know what I'm talking about? Get a scripture that, you know, I know the scripture better. You don't know too many scriptures in First Chronicles. Go to John. He got me. I'm gonna read my favorite scripture to you. See there? Y'all doing it. But like, yeah, you know, you go out there and get a little knowledge from them dudes. Them dudes give you some papers. I got some papers in here they done gave me. Little degree papers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Little degree papers. AAS, BA, BS. You know, all these little degree papers. You could go out there and get some degree papers from them people, King Fire. It ain't gonna hurt none. You get some wisdom. They'll give you some knowledge. The devil wiser than you. He wiser than me. The devil got plenty of knowledge. I wouldn't be over there talking to him and hanging out with him. But I'm saying, shoot, You know what I'm saying? You got to talk to these people some kind of way. And what you talking to them, and I go get me some knowledge, bro. Get a degree, bro. Your mind is a muscle. Your brain is a muscle. You need to exercise your brain. So, you know, some people exercise their mind by messing with other people. I don't do that. Like when you go to school, you go to college, though, you know, you could get knowledge, like a skill set. Like I went to school, and I'm talking about like this simple degree. You got to rock with me for a second, King Fire. Let me litigate my case. Let me litigate my case, King Fire. I'm saying with this right here, King Fire, with this right here, just this simple, I had a problem in my life. I worked for a business, and while I was working for that business, a girl walked up to me because I was on her truck, and she said she was going to kill me. Her brother, she was going to get her brother to come up there and do A, B, C, or D. One of the managers was standing right there and heard everything that she said. You know what they did? They fired me for what she says. I mean, some crazy, unbelievable, never heard of stuff before in my life. If I didn't have this, because I didn't get a penny for that. They didn't even get sued because I wasn't using this. This is knowledge, Donnie. This is knowledge. And so using this, when the businesses did it this time, nah, he not fired. He got to go back up there and go right back to work. As a matter of fact, that time you held him off, like you was finna fire him, you got to pay him for that time, and he coming back to work. It's because that happened because of this. I feel like every last one of us need this in our personal lives. What else you need more in your life than the law? The law affects every one of us, and everything that we have is set up on a rule. There's rules to everything. This. And I'm saying that masters, you think my life 10 years before I got this right here, and I'm saying I'm not finished building or what I'm trying to do. I'm really out here because of the moves that I made. I stand 10 on them because they got something to do with justice. But and what I believe in. You see what I'm saying? Me winning, King Fire, I'm not just winning cases. I'm not just filing cases. Like, I'm actually living in social justice. I'm actually getting harassed. I'm actually getting arrested. I'm actually going through homelessness and different issues and problems. I'm living it. I'm actually living it. I'm not just filing lawsuits and one in the U.S. Court of Appeals. I'm actually living that civil justice, civil rights fight. It's just the way it looks in my life. See what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing wrong with getting no education though, King Fire. I can't say. I understand where you're coming from if you want to be like that on fire for God. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want to deal with no heathens or pagans. I mean, if that's how you feel, but the world is full of heathens and pagans. And God really told us to deal with them because he told us to go out there 2 by 2 and tell them about Jesus. You get you some of these, King Fire. I kept some of them, but I got rid of most of them all over the country. When next time I go to NYC, I got to pass some of these. This was God told us to do, tell them about his Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have some kind of dealings with him some way, but I feel what you're saying, my boy. Ghostface killer. He said church gets money all the time. They could pay for a school here and there. Then again, church sees the church as the school itself. I don't think most schools should be utterly redesigned, but then again, I was homeschooled in the ghettos and I went to local unions. I was dumb enough to get my debt, so I have to pay it. Yeah, that ain't how it's gonna work. I'm gonna sue the draws off you. I'm sorry. I ain't talking about you, girl. I'm saying I'm gonna sue the draws off of it. Ain't no dumb enough to get my dick. That 70,000 comes straight off my credit. If you try anything with that, I'm gonna sue you. You gonna pay that 70. You gonna pay double that. What Joe Biden and them did, that's the American government. The court's gonna honor what they did. That's like, you know what I'm saying? I got the papers, boy. You gonna pay triple that 70,000. That's already working on my credit. It better be off my credit. I'm gonna go check it because of that. Really, I've been to sue the snot out you, boy. I was 19 times in a week. Real talk. It's too easy for me, bruh. You real talk. You think about how much time I spend on here live stream. I'll be at doing on lawsuits. That's all it take. I'll be sitting at the computer, sitting there formatting the documents. It's too easy for me, bro. I got a skill set. Well, I can make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year easily. With that master's degree, I can make as much as any lawyer in that law firm without even being a lawyer. It's unheard of. I could do that job. He'll have me in there writing all his lawsuits. I could see it. I can envision it. Talking to my mama. She old woman now. I got 133 lawsuits to write. And it's got to be done within 30 days. To write 133. He had me in there writing every lawsuit in the firm. Of course, you're going to give it to the other paralegals and they're going to spell check. They're going to get it right. But that thought process, that argument, you give me a set of facts and I'm telling you my argument, I'm going to stomp you. I'm skilled in the arguing, bruh. I have for long times, bruh. It's the preacher, he don't want to talk face to face that you ain't going to, if it's combative, I'm going to stomp you. Period. You can't beat me in no argument like talking about. Not with no judge. Like if you're in the streets and we just I don't really even do. I'm talking about that court, like wherever it is, like a moderator or arbitrator. I'm saying with a judge in an argument, I'm gonna stomp you, whoever you are. If I couldn't stomp you, I ain't gonna file a lawsuit. I'm not gonna. So many times I just talked to a state trooper yesterday. That's why I got off the live stream early. It's so many times, or abruptly, I should say. It's so many times where I have situations where I could file a lawsuit, but it's just not there for me to be able to do it. What I'm saying, if it's there for me to be able to do it, boy, you getting mollywop. Do the bollywop. Eternal life, that is so true. But David got eternal life too. You don't think David in heaven? You don't think David is going to heaven? Can you imagine a heaven without King David? Somebody, God said, a man after his own heart. Where you think King David at? But I appreciate that, though, Joe. Real talk. Donnie said, we already do fund it. Look at the money already goes. We can't talk about, bro, you wasting money by trying not to pay that $70,000 that Joe Biden administration said that they was going to pay. Because that $70,000 is paid. Joe Biden and them, they say, yeah, we're going to forget his debt for ghosts. That's the U.S. government said that. You can't get a new president and then try to overturn that. You're going to get sued. And you mess with somebody who got a disability, I'm going to end up making you pay twice or 1.5 times at least, depending on the judge. If they paid that debt, what Ghost told you, it's you that debt paid. You might as well don't fight it. Don't fight me. Because I'm going to make some problems for you. I promise you, something happen to me, I get on here, I badmouth and dog you every day. Don't do it to me. I promise you. You don't want me to be your enemy. Don't make me focus on you. Please don't. Because I'm saying I will make you cry. Please don't. I'm not your enemy. Don't make me your enemy, man. Don't listen to the devil. America needs to stop banging our heads the same four historical events: World War I, World War II, segregation, and Civil War. Y'all, that's my time, man. It's a big ghostwriter, y'all. I just want y'all to see real quick. You know what I'm saying? Big NYC. Y'all see them apartments across the street, boy? I'm talking about, look, life is normal. People out there, you see people walking and everything. It say 0 degrees. I never one time in my life thought I would be in a place, bro, where it's like 0 or 1 degrees, bro. That's unbelievable. Never. But I am right now, guys. And I'm talking about snow everywhere. You feel me? Y'all listen, bro. I'm finna get up out of here, man. 2 hours, 30 minutes. It's a Wednesday. You know, I really don't stream on Wednesday, so I brought y'all content Monday, Tuesday, today. You know, today it wasn't as, you know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't really something that I knew about, talked about. Tomorrow we talking about Mandami, y'all. You know I'm doing the freestyle streams. So what I want to talk about is Mandami. Really, of course, I'm going to talk about him focusing on issues that the Americans care about, the American people care about. But like not the American people, New Yorkers care about, like the rent and, you know, other issues. We're going to just look at what he focused on. But the main point is because Jasmine doing her debate on Saturday. So mostly when I'm talking about Mandami, I'm going to be talking about the Democrats. I kind of touched on it today about stuff that they need to stay focused. Don't get trapped in. But my main point is that ability when the general come and the Democrat and you running against the Republican, that ability to stay focused on the issues that the voters care about. Please. Please don't advocate for transgender. Please. If you for it, you could be for it. I appreciate it, Jessica. Thank you, baby. Thank you, sweetheart. Listen, I just want listen, this is my vision. If the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, what if both parties were great? Okay, just say you a Republican and say Donnie a Republican and Jess a Democrat. Well, I know Jess ain't a Democrat. Say Donnie and Jess are Republicans and King Fire's a Democrat, okay? What if America was great? If it was a Democrat president, Jess and Donnie might not like it, and Ghostface might like it, but if America was great, why was it matter? I'm saying, why does it matter if America was great? It's great. That's great for Republicans. That's great for Democrats. That's great for the people. That's great for everybody. So in my mind, if you try to help the Democrats and the Republicans as a party of independents until they figure out the independents come with their own platform or whatever, as a people of independents, like Joe Rogan, like he supported Donald Trump, like he might support Gavin Newsom next time, or he might support a different Democrat. Who knows? He's independent. But what I'm trying to say is this, like, if the Democratic Party and the Republican Party were better, it makes it better for all of us. If the Democrat Party was better, it makes it better for them. If the Republican Party was better, it makes it better for them. And if both parties was better, it makes it better for the American people, the number one focus. So why, as an independent, like, I don't see the Republicans or the Democrats or anybody, like, it. To me, it's all just one thing. It's just one. And I just want whoever to be better. Period. I see it's just one thing. Just one. It's like they fighting and they separate, but it's really just the same thing. It's just different sides of the same coin. It's just different views of the same perspective. That's how I see it. If I ever, like, if I got put on the payroll, if Jasmine put me on the payroll, then no, I wouldn't be receptive to helping Republicans. Legal Wars Law would be completely different. I get out I get out this. I take it. See, the political part becomes serious. The legal part already serious. I just don't have an office yet, but it's coming. Or I'll be at that law firm, like I said, making that money. But the legal part of it is like serious. My business, good standing. This year number 4. So I got that experience of being a paralegal. If I do need to go work for that law firm, this year number 4, put that master's degree with that record. I'm gonna make all kind of money, unfathomable amount of money for a paper pusher. See what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is if I got put on the payroll by a candidate in 2026, oh yeah, I get serious with it. But I probably, depending on which party, I would work for that party or work for whatever until that's what that is. This dude says drug testing on the 15th of next month. I don't care. You could drug test whatever you want to drug test. I'll take a drug test right now. Listen, whenever I was before I got disability, I told them that I use THC for my medicine. It's a medicine. You can drug test whatever you want to. You know where you're going. Ain't nobody care nothing about that. I don't do no illegal drugs. There's nothing illegal in my system. And that's what the law and Social Security says, illegal drugs. So what's illegal? I'm in New York. What's illegal? That's stupid. You just finna get sued 1,000 times. It's the language in the law. You got to get around the language in the law. The law says illegal drugs. I don't do nothing illegal. You going to court. You drug test anything you want to. I pee in a cup all the time. They tell you could take my blood. I don't do no drugs, bro. The THC that I consume, I told the doctors. I told Social Security doctors when they was examining me, ain't nobody that ain't no doctor or no Social Security person I ever talked to for an extended period of time don't know the medicines that I take. And why wouldn't I tell them that about the THC? You could do whatever you want to. You gonna lose with me, boy. Get my source for what? The source for what? What you talking about? Illegal drugs? I am the source. I write the law. You talking about for illegal drugs? The law says illegal drugs. So I mean, Social Security, it all says illegal drugs. That's you can't tell somebody there. You know, there's people who get Social Security that they live on opioids. You can't say, but if I go pee and I got opioids in my system, I'm gonna fail that drug test without a prescription. You can't say that nothing about drugs. It's got to be illegal drugs. I don't do nothing illegal. You can't get past that word. You're not smarter than me. You could get 1 million of y'all, and you could get all of y'all lawyers, Stephen Miller, all of y'all, and I'm gonna walk the dog on you. You got that illegal drugs. You can't get past the word. You got to put illegal drugs in there because people take drugs all the time. Everybody's prescribed to some kind of drug. If you're not prescribed to you, that's what makes it illegal. So you got to say illegal drugs. That's the only thing that I could get caught for on the drug test is something illegal. So if you want to argue about if something is legal federally or not, you know you're going to court. That's a big case. Because I'm going to sue you for the rest of my life that I ever would get Social Security, and I'm going to go get a job. You're going to be on the hook for about, if average life expectancy, 70 years, I'm going to sue you for what you paying me in Social Security for the rest of my life. And I'm going to go get a job while that case is in court. And you're going to have to pay it. That's the stupidest thing you ever could do. If I was snorting cocaine, that's different. You talking about something that's legal. You can't get me for nothing legal. Do you come cross up the law, and I'm going to be the one that's going to show you that. I don't know what you talking about where I get my source about what. This dude sound like a bot. Drug test, you could come pull a cup out right now. I don't do no illegal drugs. I ain't worried about nothing. I don't do nothing illegal. So I ain't worried about nothing. Where your cup at? You come take some blood. You ain't got to do no drug, no cup. You know I got a disability, so I'm going to take medicine. What judge in America is going to know that I'm not going to take medicine with it? He going to say he need to be on more medicine than that. The doctor said I need to be on more medicine than I'm on. The doctor don't need shit. They halfway kind of want me. They ain't even trying to get me off the THC. They probably halfway think it works. Oh, that THC kid, because it's that's they use it to calm patients, to calm people. It's a plant, bruh. So the doctor halfway thinking that the THC working, I'm trying to stop using it. And that shit dragging your feet with it. Bro, you fighting a losing fight on 1,000 ways. Every way you come at me, you gonna lose. What did I say 2 days ago about drug testing? I didn't say nothing about no drug testing on the 15th. If I did, I'm saying it like what you saying, somebody, and I'm just, bro, after I tell y'all that first 45 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, depending on how much I do the content. Today I did content. I spent 45 minutes talking about President Trump and NATO allies and tariffs. The last 2 hours, we just been freestyling. So you might hear me say anything, but I'm reading what y'all saying. I'm just commenting off what y'all saying right now. I'm in the comment section. So all this talk is from what is really y'all. This is y'all's part of the live stream. Donnie says illegal drugs are like illegal migrants. It's all about the paperwork. Donnie, they don't understand that. Donnie, look, you always in here too. Let me do this. You in here all the time, Donnie. You in here early and you stand all the way to the end, then shoot. Then you do what you want to in the stream. It's your stuff, my boy. And then, Donnie, you be saying stuff that makes so much sense. Even the stuff I disagree with you on makes sense. I like people like that because that's how I get smart. I don't go looking for people who agree with me. That's stupid. I want people who, like Donnie, who not all the way politically aligned with me. You see what I'm saying? But he say stuff that even though I don't agree with him, what he be saying makes sense. People like that are halfway made me change my opinion if you write about something. I like people around like that. That make a lot of sense. Everything is about paperwork. You can't beat the paperwork. You got to go to court. It don't matter what no politician saying. You got to go to court. And in court, that's all it's about is paperwork. It's a paperwork game. Pushing papers. Document pusher. That's everything I do is going to be some documents. Well, if I'm filing online, I still got to prepare the paper. I never have to run it on a copy machine. I never have to put a physical paper. I still got to prepare the document and then convert it to a PDF and still upload it. It's still a document, even electronically. Because all the court got to do, the clerk, I don't know if they keep a hard file, she push a button and you got papers. It's a paperwork game. It's a paperwork game. The whole game is about paperwork. And I'm a paperwork king. Good luck. And I could argue, it just was perfect. I just had to learn how to do the paperwork. I've always been good at arguing. So I guess I'm just a hood lawyer. Hey, what you call that? When they be something rig lawyer? I don't want to say the N-word rig, rig lawyer. I don't care. Long as I be winning. What my boy King Fire said, he said, everyone doesn't need to be given attention, Ghost. You right though, my boy. You know what I'm saying? But I'll just be like, you know, I don't know. That's a problem I have. Like, I'll just be trying to like, I don't know. You right though. You right. That's Ghost. If you right, you right. But I don't argue with people who right. That's why I win. I don't try to argue against people who right. I don't do that. That's an L. I'm gonna let you have it. Don't argue with people you right on. That's not my lane. I just, yeah, you right. I don't need to give everybody attention. That's right, sir. They don't understand, so you know they not. Okay, you right. There you go again. So he up on me 2-0, King Fire. Let me go. The king of paper. I need to be the king of the green paper instead of paper. I call it pushing papers or paperwork pushing. You know what I'm saying? Because when you say paper, you think it's talking about money. Nah, I ain't got it like that. Nowhere. I need to get there. But yeah, man, I definitely, like, if I go work for an attorney, bro, it's a wrap. I'm talking about legendary. And you notice how I'm staying in spots where if it come down to it, from New York, go to California. By the time you get to Colorado, whatever the move is, I'm going to be settled in whatever the move is to go set up. Whatever the move is, I'll be ready to go set up. Once I get to Colorado, I'm figuring it out in New York and California. So we got to go, whatever it's going, we going to Cali. Man, where else we going? Ain't going no. Where I'm going to go? We going out west. You feel me? Paperwork and politics. Nah, Donnie, that's a good question. Let's see. Paperwork, like politics is a lot more difficult. You know, so if you're talking about the whole picture in politics is a lot more complicated, but that's why I was specifying. Like, I'm not trying to run a campaign. I'm not trying to be a campaign director. Y'all feel that? So I'm not going to speak about the as far as my part in politics would just be giving strategy. That's all I would be doing is I would just be analyzing information, data, situations, and giving strategy. So the difference between that and actually what I do during the paperwork, when I'm actually filing the legal documents, doing the legal documents, I'm trying to prove somebody wrong. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I'm doing politics, it's like trying to help somebody make a decision or help somebody govern or help a candidate win. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Actually doing really what he's saying, because if I'm strategizing, if she put me on the paper roll, I'm gonna be preparing documents for the campaign on a daily basis. How else I'm gonna communicate with them? I ain't gonna do emails. I don't do that. I'm gonna do Excel sheets and spreadsheets and data sheets. So I'll be pushing papers still. It's just I'll probably still be arguing or trying to position, but it won't be about necessarily laws and proving someone wrong. It'll be about either trying to win a campaign or trying to direct a candidate in a certain way that will benefit whatever the goals or objectives are. So it's a little bit different. You say come to Minnesota and be the governor. First of all, I've never lived in Minnesota before. Second of all, I could never be, like, you don't understand, I can't be a politician. Why have to be a governor? Like, that's what you try to do. You try to put your pieces in the chessboard. So if you got this guy in Minnesota and he's a governor, he's going to get everything straight. I'm saying, like, I can't be a chess piece like that. I have to go to the power structure. and I'm supporting the power structure. So y'all will have to figure out, Governor Walz will have to want me there. That's the only way. After Governor Walz leave, whoever the next governor is, you just got to get me in their camp. And those problems will disappear completely. Ain't no governor that I'm advising would not talk to the homeland. They would have been set down. If I would have called Christie, if I worked for him and I had to call Christie personally, they would have been set down. And I'm people, I just know, I know what to tell the candidate that I can relate to the people. Just tell the candidate, you don't need me to be governor. Tell the candidate to come here real quick. I'm going to whisper something to his ear. And you go out there and this is what you tell the people. Tell them this. When y'all put me on that candidate and you see that, it's going to be like he got the magical words, because and Mayor Fry going to come out there and say that, and then people going to be going home. But if that's what they want, I couldn't work for you if you exercise an anarchy and chaos. If you standing up for something politically, that's different. But if I felt like if I was there on the scene, and y'all know I'm real too, so y'all know I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I'm gonna be bumping heads. He gonna be firing me. He gonna be firing me. Because if I felt like what you was doing is exercising anarchy and chaos, I'm gone. Just like them prosecutors in Minnesota quit on President Trump. We legal people. You're not gonna have me in here when you're doing something like really that's wrong or illegal. I'm gonna get out of there. Let me gone. You see what I'm saying? If you're not exercising anarchy or chaos and you just peacefully opposing something, like I'm a fighter, I'm a justice fighter. It's about the wisdom and knowledge and the discernment. You got to have the correct discernment. That comes from God. Just do a whole lot of praying and he'll tell you the right things. And when he tell it to me, I'll just go tell it to whoever you got. You don't understand, I got a disability. I don't see myself being able to be in that position like that. I ain't going to be able to stay there in that spot. You will let me governor, I got to be there 4 years. I've been snapped on. This had been to happen, that had been to happen. Like, it'd be more about my personality than it'd be about my service or about the people. I'm aware of this. I'm 45. I've been through this. So you don't want me to be in the spot. All you need is my ideas. That's all you need is my brain. What you need me for? That don't make sense. You need my brain. You don't need me. You need the brain. So I'm going to give you the brain without me. You don't need me. I don't want to. I've come to that point in my life. I'm not trying to be a star. I'm not trying to be a rapper. I don't want to be in the headline. I don't want to be there. I'd rather be in Bali. You feel me? That's where I'd rather be. So let her go out there in the spotlight. That's her thing. I'm not trying to do that. Or let him go out there. I ain't trying to do that. Just bring him to me and let me whisper something to him. In Minnesota, let me sit down with Governor Walz and let me talk to him. President Trump, you can't solve the problems if you in the middle of the fight and you like talking how he talking, you will never solve no problems. I wouldn't go nowhere in there, like none of that. I finna go fix that. All of that stuff gonna come to an end. And people not gonna go home upset, they gonna go home satisfied. Felt like their voice got heard. Them people just want to be heard, man. You gotta let them feel like they've been heard. And they'll go home. I'm not mentally weak. That's crazy. I'm just not physically fit to serve that position. Karl Rove never was a politician. That's not who Karl Rove is. I'm not a politician. Because you hear me talking, like my personality and character, that I could display, that I can purvey. I'm more useful to you in this role, because if I was hired by, once I could do that for you, like Bernie Sanders, I could do that for you for 1,000 candidates all across America. That's what I'm saying. If I was in a law office, they would use every case he got, he would use those skills on it. He wouldn't just say, hey, Ghost, you go do this case. And hey, Ghost, you go do this. Bro, I'm going to be in there touching every single file and folder they have in that entire law office. Once I'm in there for a while and I get good with the managing partners, I want them to let me touch. I'll be in there till, ask my mom, ask my daddy, 17 hours straight. Be in there. Everybody in that office have been and went home. And they'll come back the next day, Ghost still in there. I want to touch every case in this office. We ain't losing nothing. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to do it for the whole team. Why would I understand it's a problem in Minnesota. You just got to, the governor, he just got to want to talk to somebody who want to fix it. It ain't no sense. You going to make me be the governor and then do what? Make me turn the state red? That's probably all halfway it's going to do. It's going to turn more red, purplish or reddish. Why I'm going to be the governor? I'm not, I ain't trying to play politics. If I go to a state, I'm gonna end up turning the state gonna turn red. That's what's gonna happen because of what I believe in, where I stand at. They generally gonna try to say I'm a conservative, but at the same time, I ride with liberals the same way. Whenever you get on that social stuff, I'm just not really with all that other stuff, y'all. Y'all feel that? Like, that transgender and all that stuff, I'm just not really with all it. I can't, it's a lot of places where I'm a be forward with the Republic. It's hard to be for that stuff, man. It's real hard. For me. Because I know that most of the American people, plus I don't feel like it's right. So, y'all, that's 3 hours. Supposed to do 2. It's a special. Did 3. I was in the comments with y'all the entire time, rocking with y'all. Big ghostwriter, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. I say it every day, man. Like, Christ is king. If that offends you, then you need to accept that Christ is king. Because people say whatever they want to say about their religions and whoever, it never offends me. It never offends me. So me telling you guys Christ is king should not offend you, man. You know what I'm saying? I believe Jesus Christ suffered, bled, and died on the cross for our sins. I believe he was buried. And in 3 days, he rose from the dead. And he in heaven right now. The Bible says, if we sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ the righteous. It's a human on the throne in heaven. And he knows what it's like. He knows what it's like. Isn't that a good thing? Before that human was on that throne in heaven, boy, I'm telling you, God wasn't showing us as much mercy. But Jesus Christ, the righteous, God said he gonna reign. Right? Bro, that's y'all don't understand. That's a beautiful thing. He a man. Yeah, so he know what it's like. A lot of people talk about following God and this and that, but a lot of y'all Christians, y'all don't look nothing like Jesus. Jesus Christ is king. You know what you know, and you know the scriptures, and those of y'all who might be in here in the background who really know, y'all deep in there, I just said something right there without even saying it. Christ is king. The blood of Jesus Christ, the blood that Jesus shed on the cross, it washes away our sins. It pays for our sins. All you have to do is pray and ask Jesus to forgive you of your sins. It needs to be one prayer. You can't prayed your prayer at 5 and then went out there and lived like the devil for 1,000 years and then come rededicate. I don't believe in no rededicate. I believe once you pray that prayer, you walk in with Jesus. You might not be in complete obedience. You might have people asking me why I don't obey God, but I'm saying I didn't go live in sin and the devil and go to prison and do all that for 50 years and talking about rededicate myself. No, I'm walking with Jesus right now today. Why do people attacking me? I'm just not as religious as they are, as spiritual as they are. Because you know these people are liars and everything else talking about, oh, why don't you obey God? That's the devil. That's the energy of Lucifer. God says that the devil is an accuser of the brethren. It's not personal with me. It's all about God. Christ is king. Period. I don't care what your preacher's saying. I don't care what this dude, bro. I'm set in what I know and I believe. I'm set in it. What you know and you believe, you get set in what you know and what you believe. But I'm set in what I know and believe. Christ is king, bro. Yeah, man, that's my time, man. It's 3 degrees outside. If it's 3 degrees, if it's 30 degrees, I can't say 300 degrees. Or if it's like 75, 80 degrees, you feel that? I'm in California, bro. Doing your boy got that Icewear Viso blasted, windows down, you know, swerving lanes all the way through Cali up Highway 1. Them days coming. If I'm in Cali swerving lanes, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm still. It's gonna be. This is the day the Lord has made. I play. I might be a little worldly. I might listen to music. And I could reach more lost people than you too. You don't see that. You ain't finna lead nobody to Christ. They ain't even finna listen to you. I could reach more because they more tuned in to me than they are to you. So when I tell them about Jesus, they be listening to me. They ain't listening to no preacher, no pastor saying. They're going to listen to ghosts and ghosts tell them. You can't see that. But I might be a little worldly or a little whatever you want to call it. It don't matter. I don't care. Well, I need it, whatever. It's whatever. You feel me? Because I know I'm rock solid in what I believe and who I am, man. Rock solid. You need to get rock solid in what you believe and who you are. And once you do, God said, ain't no man could pluck him out of my hand. If you belong to him, that's what the Bible don't say that, yeah. Hey, man, that's my time, man. It was a Wednesday. I just popped in here, man. I kicked it with y'all for 3 hours, you know what I'm saying? So we'll be live tomorrow, man. You know, tomorrow gonna be kind of like this until Jasmine got her debate on Saturday, so I'm gonna go live before her debate on Saturday, man. Not trying to be baby girl campaign director. You run your campaign, baby. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to like give some advice, man. Whatever I can to help, man. That's what I do. Just trying to help, man. I just love people. You know what I'm saying? But Jasmine, you do. I don't care. I'm waiting on you to email or call me though. Real talk. You need to put me on the payroll, baby. What you waiting on? I want to make sure you done beat James Tellerico. Got to beat that boy head in. But we going to talk about it on Saturday, man. You know what I'm saying, man? I love y'all, man. And y'all just, real talk, though. Just be as real as you can with people, man. And try to give them that love back. But we do got to stand firm and we do got to stand solid and we do got to fight, though. You know what I'm saying? But it's just about getting that balance, man, because you got to give them that love, too, with that strong hand. You know what I'm saying? But it's got to be the right balance. But I love y'all, man. Y'all be safe, man. Y'all be cool. Remember, Jesus love you and Christ is king, man. I'll see y'all in the morning, 7 a.m. Eastern. Donnie, man, I see you later, my boy. You hear me? And King Fire, man, I'll see y'all in the morning. Y'all come through and rock with your boy. Next time we see Smashley, we're going to tell Smashley she can't take no days off no more. Y'all, I'm out, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow.